Yo, chat आ जाओ भाई.
Them to at least take a map.
Is that a challenge? I hated playing this map.
I love playing this map.
Really?
Yeah.
I hated playing this map. The
कौन सा
only
map है?
reason was because of the breach meta. I played it when the breach meta was still there. There's stuns towards market every single
That sounds
round.
like
the
a
setup.
strategy. That's like you ran into the trap.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
We've got our players out on the stage. Let's introduce some of the beautiful faces.
Racing VALORANT tonight.
अभी हो गया
Walking you
live.
through our first squad as our cameras are going to settle in. We've got Global Esports on the right. On the left, of course, is AGAL. And we're going to start here with the Global squad. So please, Pilski, walk me
G,
through.
let's go.
The only Korean player that made it to Masters London. Did have some coaching staff making it over there. Rest in peace to the Korean scene. Hopefully, we can start to pick things up going forward. Nongshim's definitely flying the flag over here in Paris. But a fantastic duelist, very underrated. On the other side of things, this is a big fragging presence here on All Gamers. Fanggear really lit up the server in VCTCN to get that first seed coming through into Santiago, and he just continues to go to strength as the Russian player on this Chinese squad.
Hello.
But here's another man that's played plenty in China. He's going to know his way around playing against All Gamers. Autumn.
I thought you were going to keep going. That's your boy.
Yeah,
that's your Australian boy. And you're just letting me go for it?
Look,
That's crazy.
I was hoping you were going to.
It was honestly a great
like,
hand up. I thought you crushed it. Taking a look here at our agents, we've got the
sometimes
Phoenix.
you throw the ball and it just hits him in the face.
Hello. अब सही आ रही है.
It's
hello.
early. It's the first match.
I literally was like, there's
perfect
no
pass.
way you're giving this to me. This is your boy. But I really like
Right. ये क्या हो गया?
this agent select because I think this is very similar to how both these teams like to play. A lot of the double duelists on lock, so I think it's really interesting. Udotan on that Neon's always going to perform. Autumn on the Phoenix has done a good job. Then on the other side, Kira with that raise, he's been phenomenal so far. For me, Fanggear on Neon though, I feel like he had a really good series so far on that chamber. I was kind of looking for that, but the Cypher makes a lot of sense because it's so hard to play without that real Senti util.
Who's this shrimp guy? Because looking at the numbers, he was the most impressive from all gamers. He had plus 11 overall, but also contributing in the assist. Seems to be very involved in a lot of the fights.
I'm going to do a hand movement for you. This won't be on camera, but I want you to. This is what shrimp means. Okay, this is what he does to people, and that's all. What do you think of that, Pocket? Is that intimidating? If you stand up on the stage and do that in the direction of the other team, does that make you upset?
Well, is he like a mantis shrimp? Because they've got the most powerful punch of any creature.
Really?
Yeah, pound for pound. They're the strongest in the game,
That
baby.
explains a lot. Thank you. I'll
You're
take
welcome.
that information with me as we head into the series.
I've got a 4-year-old. We've been watching a lot of nature stuff. It's awesome. Here's a look. Global Esports has looked terrible. They got rid of their coach, but it is a brand new day. They've had all kinds of footage to review. The question is, are they ready for AGAL? We hand the mic over. It's Pilski and Athena for map number 1.
Yeah, cheers, Pucker. It is the first game here on the B stream. Elimination game between Global Esports and All Gamers. Global getting knocked into the lower bracket by an MIBR who looks like they're on the warpath straight into a top 4 as far as I'm concerned. We'll see how they go in their next game. That'll be over on the A stream. And All Gamers, quite frankly, had that Heretics game in the bag, but Heretics ever troublesome to try to close out against.
Yeah, it seems like they had a really good understanding of how they wanted to play and the maps, but we're going to jump right into the action right away because these players, they're contact playing towards this B main, but there's a trap set up here from Global Esports. Ready with a curveball, gets the flash down, he gets that on 4 players, but the Cypher cage is phenomenal. Crystal getting that pick onto Fanggear, but Shrimp getting that initial one.
Yeah, gorgeous cage from Bai. Really avoids what would have been a disaster for All Gamers in this pistol, slowing things down towards B main. The other side of things, Harvey a little bit concerned that there is going to be some pressure towards A, looking to play retake with the trip still up on short, and of course with the dark cover towards top middle. All Gamers trying to cause a little bit of reaction or a rotation for Global.
Feels like these teams at a standstill. GE gonna try to regress, get some sort of information, at least
Okay,
get
क्या
a numbers
खड़े है भाई
advantage,
लाइन
but
से.
they choose not to go.
Nice,
Udo there
nice.
has lit. But the rest of his team, they're kind of playing all the way back. That smoke is
go.
gonna come in. The execute's gonna start.
Nice
Udo
one.
with a pick onto GRQ.
Already low है
All of
सब
a
लोग.
sudden, the numbers are down here. Kira just
अरे
getting
easy
spammed
थे.
down by Crystal. The fast flood is already here for Global Esports, pushing into that
Nice
smoke.
one, nice
But
one.
Udo gets that pick, and Shrimp left in a 1v4.
Not much to do.
Oh.
At least one exit on the way out. 30 HP and nothing left in the Ghost here. Reload comes out, but he's pinned into the corner by all of GE, and with only 12 seconds on the clock, it feels like a matter of time here. Harvey will put him down. And it's a great pistol for Global Esports. I felt like they had a good read early on that they didn't take full advantage of. And then in the mid-round, I think there's a big difference in, I guess, decision trees or pathways that we're going to head down. If Yudatan chooses to push B main there, that's probably just the round over, but his patience is very much rewarded.
Yeah, I love that Cypher cage right there. So nice to prevent. But Udo just getting away with so many of these free picks, walking through those smokes, trying to prevent and slow down the execute. We're going to go back to another trap play here from Global Esports, but this time they're gambling that wrong site. That's information going to be had really quick, while the whole rest of the roster of AG are on the side of B.
Orb tapped, trying to bait out some kind of trap. They just had to deal with one in one round previous. Kira built himself closer to a showstopper here. Crystal looking for some toes. No one crossing mid just yet.
Looking for some dogs.
Yeah, that's a good camp.
Running towards
you
that
know, many Cypher players are toe enthusiasts.
No, I'm not going on this train.
Okay.
GE, they have a nice little setup here towards A main. That Marshall going to be able to spot any contact here. Angear running right into it. Actually whiffs the shot. Udo tries to get another one. Peeks through those double walls. Patman stuck on this corner. GRQ has a feeling, but Autumn is there to support him. Patman with a pick onto Shrimp. And all of a sudden it looks like all gamers are not getting any of these picks that they're trying to. Pushing forward the confidence from Udo.
Yep, that's a little bit more like it for Global Esports. Despite some shaky stuff on the Marshall, still able to clean up all gamers relatively easily. Haven't had too much of a contest just yet. This Sunset pick for Global Esports is really going to test the limits of all gamers' map pool. Nothing really too exciting coming out compositionally from either of these teams. It is a double duelist off with a slight difference in the choice. There are pros and cons to both. The Phoenix very strong in this meta, but Raze is a classic on this map.
I think too, when I'm looking at Shrimp, his util's been so phenomenal. I really like the idea of having a lot of those seize, nade, trap plays towards their defense side when they do switch over here for AG. Gun round on lock, trap towards mid, running out of market. It's nice one, and all of a sudden this round has kind of fallen apart for AG. We need to do something with these weapons.
One trade back from Kira. That was just such a perfect curveball paranoia with the haunt for the scan to open up an early pick for Global Esports, and they're not done just yet. Dark cover towards bottom middle. Harvey going to take matters into his own hands, just trying to slip on through here. Fangir somewhat cognizant of this, but the timing is not good for him, and that's an opening pick here yet again in the mid-round for Harvey, who continues to push the issue, confirms that all gamers are outside of A. TP away here as they're looking to meet up with Kira towards that B side of the map, but Crystal has got a gorgeous cam and a one-way if this push comes in. And I think all gamers may struggle to get into the site here if Crystal is well positioned.
Yep. Patman towards that A site. He has a Prowler too, and that Haunt is back up for him to scan, get the info. But they don't really care because that weak side, Cypher, fully set up here, like you said. The execute's going to come in, the nade to try to break any of those close trips. Prowler comes in, doesn't get anyone. They're giving up that site and planning to play retake. They have a lot of really good retake util on Patman with the fade dog and that fade eye.
We spoke onto market side here for all gamers. Patman applying pressure for the flank. GRQ breaking through onto Yudatan. That is a lot of entry power. Not really going to be having too much impact anymore. Alfangle's looking pretty good for Kira on the other side of this one. Should be able to pick up Crystal if he goes unchecked. Nice little high-low on the other side of things. Isn't even needed. An easy one for Shrimp. All gamers, it was getting a little bit sweaty, but it looks like they are well and truly on top of this one. Round will be run regardless. Maybe not in clean as a fashion as they would have liked to, losing Kira there on spawn side. But Global Esports still well and truly in on this one. Look how much economy they have. They will concede this round, but really it's looking to be death by 1,000 cuts if possible. All gamers will celebrate that one, but I think it might be a little early at this point, honestly.
Yeah, 3 weapons down. That's a little bit too expensive. We're going to have, at best, that light armor coming online for the rest of all gamers. But seems like they're both doing really good jobs at being proactive. I feel like for me, GE, they're really surprising me with their defense rounds right now. Using a lot of trap.
You haven't seen them win many rounds, have you? Wow. These guys are
what was it, 5 total? 5 total versus MIBR?
They are so much better than that series, I have to be honest. And the op is out now for Yudatan. Over on towards this B line. Bit more of a spread approach from Wargamers to start this one off. Tapping away, looking to try to take out any cans or early haunts. Dark cover in towards middle. Udatan has been established on this info line, hand in hand with Autumn, who will probably try to continue to build his run it back.
Slow default here for all gamers. 2-on-2. Looking to end towards A. That paranoia in the hands of GRQ. The Prowler actually catching onto that op. That's a really good pushback. Fangir using those walls to make sure they're getting that space, but still not entering towards elbow. Trying to ping pong towards that B main where Kira's trying to apply
Mid ऐसे छोड़
some
रखा है
pressure here
हेलो
with Bai.
Yep. It's a classic kind of skirmishy approach. Deny information to the defense and look for a reaction elsewhere. Have both Bai and Kira ready for the re-aggression into B main if that was what was going to be on the cards. But as it stands, Autumn has retaken this A info line very nicely, and the rotation's already coming in for GE as all gamers prep themselves for the B execute.
Slow, but it's okay. They're grouped up. But 3 players here on the side of GE already on site. The Prowler's going to come in. The dash
Holy.
out. So much movement. The Haunt's going to scan, but no one's connecting. Shots. Kira getting the pick
Hadi
onto
bhai.
Crystal and Uda. That's 2 for him. And now all of a sudden that default, that defense has fallen apart for these players. Running out of
Hadi.
smoke is Javi, not able to get anything. Batman and Autumn now all of a sudden left in that 2v5.
Fangir wants to do it, but he's very low on HP. Need a clean round here as all gamers, and they're all still kind of trapped inside of the site. Global Esports very much playing for exits at this point. Up picked up by Kira. Fangir and GRQ barely clinging to life, and they're going to choose the path of least resistance, pushing over here in towards defense spawn. That's going to be fantastic for them to establish a
there.
foothold in this game of Sunset. Should be 5 alive at the end of this one, unless they run into Patman.
Both teams definitely have done a lot of work.
Oh, which
onto
one
the
would you choose?
Sunset.
This is my favorite thing to do.
Which one?
Oh, it's too late.
I didn't look.
Already passed.
The umbrellas?
No, they were dresses.
Oh, what colors were they?
There was like a wedding dress. There was like a little pink number, you know.
Give me the pink.
हदे
Oh, man. Honestly, that round for GE, I felt like they were in all the right
Yeah.
positions, and it just was not clean enough.
yeah,
Like, that was just an awkward little exchange. Kira runs into the site and very easily gets a little
Time
double
out.
entry on.
Ooh.
Despite a good rotation time for GE, you're attacking into the Storm side. The op and the Cypher are both on that side that AG are attacking into. Like, you have everything you need to hold there as GE, and you get absolutely nothing done.
Yeah, that's crazy. Just none of the shots were connecting. They were trying to play around those smokes, but just couldn't find anything. And I think now this timeout for GE actually showing to all gamers that that was a round that they knew that they should have won as well. Knowing that they were stacked there, trying to talk about their crossfires, or at least make sure they're cleaning up their setups. Because like you said, that macro on that defensive round was really, really good. Almost perfect, I would say, just up until that execute. So maybe talking about maybe the util that they were supposed to use to slow down the execute, to separate, to isolate, or why they just weren't playing together.
I mean, yeah. You would have ideally, especially with the Omen in on the rotation, liked a nice paranoia timing through the site that the players were able to play off, or the op to be able to cleanly trying to find an opening pick. I'm not even sure I heard an op shot, quite honestly, and it felt like Crystal was just on a bit of an awkward angle. Regardless, all gamers will take full advantage of that. A very, very nice follow-up despite not a great start. It feels like they are in full control now. GE getting a little bit of a mid-walk going on. We'll see how all gamers deal with this.
The op on Bai. Good spot to be in. Holding for this pick. Padman's about to peek that top mid. Gets the pick. Bai putting in the work. But this whole time, Javi, he's walked all the way down that mid. Bai is not falling for it, though, playing really passive. Everyone on all gamers, they're not giving up that numbers advantage now, knowing that GE have been so proactive in pushing and taking contact.
That has even been a ping on Harvey's line here. GRQ very convinced that there could be somebody peeking in from this angle. The spacing is excellent from all gamers. Stinger can only get so much done, let's be honest. And I saw it in the player cam. A lapse of concentration for just a second on Harvey. Just seems like GE are not quite focused enough here in the opening parts of this game. Need to switch on a little bit more. All gamers, just a slow offense. Very safe on the anti-eco, but they will be heading towards the strong side with Crystal and Autumn in tow.
Autumn's going to be a big player here. That Prowler is going to catch him off guard. Those Shrimp immediately shutting down Crystal. 2 kills for Autumn. Is shut down by Shrimp, and now Udo just running.
Yeah,
You're going to hear that. Turning around is Fangir with that off. Gets the pick. And it's just a shutdown here for all gamers.
Yeah, very simple, very structured, but sometimes those are the best rounds. Don't need to do anything fancy as all gamers. Just hold the angles and give them enough rope to hang themselves with. Economy is very, very good on this attacking side now. It's up to GE now that they've started to get some ults in the mix.
Line यार
especially
ले
that
जाता है
multi-frag from Autumn to
Autumn.
show
कोई
some
ना.
better rounds. Taking the timeout in towards the round previous wouldn't have been their focus. Now we need to start to see the adjustments coming in.
Stay focused.
Gun round here for both teams. The ults online. 3 of them towards the side of Global Esports. But they're not playing too aggressive just yet. Keeping that elbow control on that A main. Fangir with this operator just trying to find a pick. Shoots at the lever because he thought it was a gun. Honestly, I would do that same thing. Honestly,
Whom are you supporting?
Well,
Of
doesn't
course,
allow us to
G
do
bhai.
much. Gonna
Indian
pull
team.
out on the line. Udatan dealing with the trip, just spamming away.
There.
That's a little bit of a win for GE here, but with all gamers really taking their time spreading the map and looking for a pick, it's
G
eyes on
bhai.
Kira and Fang
G on
here,
top.
V Udatan, who is all on his lonesome. The dark
Baap
cover
re.
almost creates an opportunity for
Baap
Udatan to take
re.
advantage of, but as has been the case all of these rounds, it's just not quite right.
Oh my god, that sucks. 9 HP on Fangir. He got the dink through the wall, through that box, but it just wasn't
Damn,
enough.
bhai.
And now just regrouping. All gamers, they've been so good at knowing how to end here. That Cypher, though, fully set up on site. They do have this Prowler to break a lot of those. The nades coming
Okay.
in, the walls
Your
in,
favorite
the full
VALORANT
execute. The
player?
rocket is popped from Kira. He's gonna
मेरा
be able to get
favorite
one.
तो नहीं है भाई.
Fully blinded. GRQ with a pick onto Crystal as well.
फेवरेट पर्सन है सिर्फ
And a
नहीं है. बस
2v5.
देखता हूँ मैं.
This is so rough for
Yeah.
Global Esports.
I mean, all gamers are just rolling these sites. Similar to what we saw against Heretics, they were pretty effortlessly able to work their way through the map. Let's run on into these sites on Lotus in particular, and find man advantage just saw the same thing on Ascent. Very well drilled. This squad straight out of VCTCN. A region where Autumn is not used to
फिर से
losing.
सेव. अरे क्या
Unless
कर
he's
रहे हो
playing
भाई?
EDG.
सेव करके राउंड दे रहे हो पूरा. क्या है इनका लाइक क्या सोच रहे हैं लोग?
4 ults on
Pretty-
though. 4G
क्या
for
फायदा?
next round. Autumn just getting a nice little exit there.
बोले
on
इसको ही
Kira,
मिलेगा.
Patman
इसको ही
only.
मिलेगा.
But I think this round now, this next round, they're going to be a little bit broke, but they have a lot of these winning condition ults. I'm really curious if we're going to see Udo do some sort of play with that Neon ult, pushing aggressive, maybe taking a lot of that space, but they have to be aware of this op. They need to find that first and just make sure they're not pushing into it, because they've been punished by that now 2 rounds in a row by in mid Udo on that A main. They're just getting those initial peaks, letting them run into them almost every single time.
30
Yeah, it's a
seconds.
painfully slow offense for all gamers, like nails on a chalkboard, but sometimes those are the hardest kind of
Nothing
rounds to
but
play
there, though.
against, where
Kuch to
you know you
karo.
just lose concentration a little bit. The other team had their head screwed on nicely, and then they're coming
क्या
in with full
फायदा? 2
confidence,
पे
and all
करने
it
हैं,
takes is a
3 पे
mistake or
करनी
two
है.
from GE, and things can kind of fall apart. Now we're going to get yet another fight over this A side of the map curve, rather the Molly and the Prowler in
PK मत दो
combination with the
भाई,
one-way
ये
will
इसमें neon
again
case में
secure
तो.
the one-way. Overdrive being held here by
Zero
Udatan,
attempt
as there
on the
are a couple of
Yeah.
rifles kept over from the previous round. So once
Mid door
again,
तोड़
a
दी.
winnable round for GE.
Yeah.
And another, as I said, painfully slow round for all gamers.
Setting up Udo once again towards A main. Trying to figure out why this B site can't be held with that Cypher util as well. Trying to delay for as long as possible. They have 2 players already set up on this site. And the up-down, the high-low, top-mid here. Patman and Autumn, they're just holding, trying to get a pick. Udo gets spotted out by Fangir, and they're going to actually execute.
Yeah,
They're holding
perfection.
W.
Just
Nah.
punishing those age-old positions that you're often
Yo.
playing. Patman will go down as well. That's one of the Vandals that you wanted to have in play. Autumn trying to put on his cape here. Run it back active, and it's a complete disengage from all
Ugh.
gamers.
Now they're running back towards that
Bhai.
mid. Not going to fully execute yet. They're grouping B, but again, the
Pistol maar
Cypher
de bhai,
util here,
must.
but why not? It's worked for them almost
Set
every
up.
single
30
round. That
seconds
one-way
left.
cage is going to go up. It's going to get blocked by Vi's cage. The Nightmare going online. Fangir getting his 3 kills. Kira is dropped by Crystal. 2v4 all of a sudden. They're trying to push this
No
backside.
shot,
Crystal
Ray.
punishes them. Autumn's there to trade, but isn't
TNT.
able to get anything.
Yeah, 5 in a row for all
अब है
gamers. This is
पैसे ना.
looking a little bit too easy.
करो बाइक करो big.
And I'm getting concerned
क्या
about
करते
Global
हैं?
Esports, especially because of what we saw in their opening game. Feels like Groundhog Day here from one of the hopeful teams out of Pacific.
Fangir, I feel like on the operator has done such a good job. I think he's one of the main players I was looking at when I was watching them play against Heretics. On his chamber, getting a lot of those opening picks. It was really nice to see, and so I'm kind of worried here for GE as well in the sense of them not being able to push back that operator, constantly getting punished by it. Udo, he's fallen for that same thing 2 rounds in a row, make it 3 almost. And it's just really hard for me to understand how they can adapt. And instead of adapting by not playing there anymore, they've pushed all the way up towards A main.
Yep, both of the duelists on the front foot here. Camera spotted out by Fangir, who was looking a pick towards B main. GRQ trying to disengage there with the paranoia, and Autumn will lose his life.
The trap setups were working for GE, but now they've just fallen into this trap of overextending themselves almost. Making it 4v5 here. And all gamers, they're just going to sit. They know the re-aggression is coming, but it's on the side of B. Breaking that, it's going to be a little bit more of information here for all gamers, and they're trying to end towards this A site. They kind of have a good setup here, GE. Maybe this is the round that they can win.
Overdrive on in, one player on the lurk here for all gamers, if he's even needed. Patman alone on the side now as the TP's coming in from on the other side of things.
Paytm, nice.
Flanking up through top middle, catches the Omen off guard, who is looking for an off angle over the spawn smoke. Plant going down. Crystal creeping his way up short. All gamers just trusting the buddy system over towards elbow. Walking together. There is a neural theft, but Crystal isn't using it. There are bodies over on short that he could have potentially thrown that on top of, but the hat is still well and truly on. Needs to tap the spike here, try to bait out a peek. But he's going to try to go a little bit more aggressive. Jiggle down on the side. All gamers well aware of his position now. He doesn't know they're doubled up just yet. And this feels hopeless. All gamers just playing this so well. They make a critical mistake, and Crystal capitalizes a 3rd round out of nowhere for GE, just off of heroics from both Patman and Crystal.
That was crazy. I was really concerned when I saw Udo all of a sudden move out of that A-link and stand in the open. He got punished right away. But Patman, holy smokes, that 3K was really insane to watch here. That positioning a little bit suspicious, but Patman able to get 3, goes for that 4th.
Nice
of course,
one,
this 2K by Crystal.
Double round.
Those are the kind of heroics that saved them. But again, they were set up somewhat good. They played really aggressive though towards that A main. Got punished once again, so they've switched it up this time. And finally, we're going to see some B main aggression right off the bat and leaving that A main alone. Maybe setting up some util to fake that pressure.
Sees dodge. In comes the util. All gamers always ready for it. Reaction from them is looking pretty good here. Uditan under pressure. Autumn caught in the corner, just trying to keep himself alive with the curveball, and it's a disengage. It's an expensive little exchange for GE there that I'm not sure they necessarily got what they bargained for. Yes, they've secured control of B main, and they are repositioning. So if they could try to go for a mid-walk or a mid-crunch later on in the round that works out for them, then maybe that'll be good. But as it stands, they're just spreading the map here and resetting.
Shrimp using that Prowler to clear all of B main. He knows no one's still set up close, so All Gamer is going to slow it down once again because they're waiting for some sort of information. It feels like GE has given it to them every single time the contact plays, but going towards this elbow here on that A site, they're going to be spotted.
From Crystal will confirm that All Gamers are inside of elbow. Patman is on short. That's a nice angle for the Nightfall. The cage giving All Gamers pause for thought as Uditan has made it up over onto the side. Kira from up on high has a little bit of an off angle. Fangir low on HP. He's already lost his life on the way in. And when will you pull the trigger on the Nightfall as GE here? All Gamers are trying to bait it out. Another kill for Uditan. In goes the overdrive and the Nightfall. This is looking like All Gamers are getting torn apart here. Great rotations from GE. They are all over that one.
That was really nice. The flood retake. All the util being sent, just delaying for as long as possible. And that's what they're missing when that Cypher is set up towards that B site. That was really well done. The delay, the cage timing after that camera was broken towards elbow. Just making them slow down a lot. That's what I like to see from Global Esports. This right here, all that util, they're so low now after this, and Shrimp trying to go for as many as he can, but just doesn't work out. I think now we're seeing GE play just a tiny bit more passive. The disengaged after getting that B main info was really important for them. You said they used a lot of their util, and they did, but they still had that retake plan.
All gamers simplifying this one. A 1-4 with the Cypher on the lurk. Going to creep up into a B site that is ripe for the picking. GE
टीम
both
वेट
Harvey and
करती
Autumn
रहती
playing
है
on
क्या
spawn
एंट्री
side for the retake.
मार
Looking
दो
for the
भाई
cam is
अपने आप मार
Fang
दो
here.
4 बंदे मार दो
Prowler to clear out all of front site. It's a pretty silent
एंट्री तो मेरे
approach
लॉग
here.
इन लिस्ट कर दो
Harvey though,
वही बात तो है
dumping out the
टीम क्या कर
paranoia.
सकती है
Fast lane to try to disengage. One return back from all gamers who are looking to try to keep Kira alive. I'm not sure that GE are going to check him on the site, quite honestly. I think GE think that all of all gamers
उसको मारना पड़ेगा
have been
Omen.
shoot away in towards B
Yeah.
main, and that is unfortunately not the case. Kira gets the opener from site, swings out on backside, go decently for GE, but they're still in a little bit of trouble here. Udatan having some impact, but all gamers trading out
Baap
effectively
re.
enough here.
Crystal
Should be
निकालेगा
able to get themselves
1v2
into a post plant.
Here
Once
getting
more.
2 from that position on site after being deposited is actually
कर
kind of
दे
criminal.
भाई
The first, yes, element of surprise, but that
आवाज
second he was scanned and everyone knew
चलो
where he was, still
पता है
not able to pick him off. And now that spike plant going down, gets the rocket online, and
20
GRQ
भाई
just peeks Crystal.
6-4 here.
अरे इसको पता ही नहीं था ये अंदर
It's
घुसा
a
पड़ा
nice
है
little approach from all gamers. It felt like they just got into B pretty much for free. And the thing that I'm really impressed with, I mean, their macro is fantastic. I think the macro has been decent from GE, quite honestly, in a lot of these rounds. But they are so good at exactly what you need to be good at on Sunset. You were kind of talking about the breach meta.
हर
Trading
बार
utility
वो
on this
नहीं
map
मार
is
सकता
everything.
बड़ी
All of the reactive utility that's quick, that can
वही
be
तीन
used in
भाई
these
भाई
bursts,
भाई
that can be used to kind of bully map control.
मारना
If
चाहिए
you're
भाई
really good in these kind of
औरा बन
mid-round
जाएगा भाई
situations
औरा
where one team's dumping a relay bolt or a paranoia on you and you respond with the perfect utility, that is exactly what you need to see.
ओहो
In going the rocket, that should be Crystal
I
going
see.
down, no
Crystal
Cypher
देखा
utility.
Batman,
Off
nice.
angle. Almost good for 3. And now it's just the rest of
3v3.
GE with pistols.
This was actually just a thrifty too for GE, using those hero weapons to try to get as many as they can.
He's
Kira
not
getting a
gonna be.
pick onto Javi, not allowing them to even go for that retake. The Cypher trip is gonna delay Autumn from being able to go for a fast flank. Udo also unable to shoot that. Roomba now 3 players alive for AG. They know where all these players are. As the flash coming in, Shrimp just turns
क्या
it though.
घुमा दे वो
And Udo trying to go for one, playing ring around the
Anti,
rosy,
anti,
but
anti.
isn't able to get it.
कोई ना
Yeah, jump scared multiple times that round, Udatan, unfortunately. And another round for all gamers. This Sunset pick is turning out not to be what GE bargained for.
Yep. Really nice change of pace here as well for all gamers. Even though they knew
कोई मार
that they
सकता
could have
था
been on a thrifty, they still took it fast, and I really liked it. A little bit scary though, towards elbow. You got to make sure you clear your corners there. Almost good for 3. Trying to get them down, and now 7 to 4
अबे जी का
here.
ही pick
Shrimp
है
on the top
Sunset,
of that
इधर ही खेल
scoreboard.
पा
He's one of those players we talked about. His initiator util has been phenomenal, but also
क्या
his
scene?
fragging power, insane. He has that Nightfall online, and a mid default here for both of these teams.
ओके
And pushed down.
ओके
Big mid walk.
मिड पुश पूरा
It's
ओ
looking like
3
really good timing here for Autumn. GRQ will go down for free. Curveball onto bottom middle, pushes by away. He's under a lot of pressure. They're dumping everything
okay,
on him, the
stun,
kitchen
okay.
sink included. Autumn's found Fangir in the meantime. And forward with the dives.
Oh!
This is all the way of GE. Shrimp didn't even use half his util.
Arre,
He's
इसने
fighting
दो मार
hard
दिए।
for it, but I'm not sure he's ready for the third man. And GE
भाई
will scrape
पुश तो
together
था
a
बे
bit at the end
क्या
of that
crazy
half.
किया
I mean,
पुश
full credit to all gamers. They were so good at punishing the aggression all half long, but GE finally
है भाई
caught
है
them.
भाई
Yeah,
Gameplay
that
तो है।
walk down mid, Javi, really good timing. The second that they turned around,
क्या
holding
लगता है
that
जी
mid
जीतेगी
from
ये वाला
a
मैप
gain, all gamers,
Sunset
they just found someone. Omen pushing all the way through, and now going into the second half here. We talked a lot about the defensive macro from GE, but I think also for me, all gamers, they really shined on their defensive side against Heretics. I
मस्त
say
था
that.
पुश अच्छा था
Pretty sure they didn't get a single defensive
ये
side.
उसको मारे था
on
उसका
Lotus,
रिलोड
but
नहीं आ
that's
रहा था
fine.
शायद
We don't
The
talk
other,
about that.
we don't talk about that map.
Yeah.
We talk about the other 2 maps where their
support your
defense was
argument.
really good. Yes, exactly.
ऑलरेडी एम था उसके लिए
Look, it was an interesting
yeah.
attacking side for all gamers. Nothing sexy, nothing too exciting, but very effective Valorant.
I
Yeah.
find Valorant so sexy. Just all the time.
What team has the sexiest Valorant?
No team.
No team? Not
None.
MIBR?
Harbor is the sexiest agent, though.
Okay.
Thoughts?
I mean, I can see why you're in full support of Marta now. That makes a lot of sense. We followed that argument to its logical conclusion, and now we can move on with the broadcast.
And we're gonna get fired. That's crazy.
Okay. I mean, every day I wake up and I think, oh, today could be the day. All gamers, they are definitely earning their paycheck here, though. Could have already been through into the progression match in this group, but Heretics were a little bit troublesome for them.
Yeah.
Now here's a game that I think, based on the opening games of these two teams here at EWC, you'd be expecting all gamers to win it, but out of 5-7-1/2, still really anyone's game.
Yeah, and I think I'm actually genuinely surprised so far by GE because obviously in their performance by MIBR, they had the 5 rounds total, which they've gotten just in this one half of
That's
this
the last
map.
time, by the way.
That's
We do not say that again.
And I
I'm
think
going to get in trouble. And
I think they're actually doing really well. Like you said, their macro on that defense was really nice. Their rotates made a lot of sense. It felt like a lot of the small things were just little adaptation, making sure they're not overextending on their aggressive peaks. They changed their defensive setup a couple times. They changed it up, and it worked out for their favor. And, of course, back to that re-aggression when they know that AG are least expecting it. But Pistol for the second half now.
yeah, still anyone's game. It's not going to decide the game or anything, but it's always a feel-good moment. Global Esports back onto that attacking side. This is where Harvey, who's had a rough game so far, needs to be worth his weight in gold. Pagit, that's a nice opener onto Crystal. The Cypher, you'd like them to activate a little bit earlier, maybe a little bit later, rather. Maybe when the site has been taken and you're trying to bait out some of the rotations. Bit of hubris from Crystal that doesn't work out for him.
Playing full retake here. All gamers hold down into side by trying to get one, but is pushed all the way off. Market is fully open for the taken Kira. He sped up onto site though, taking all of back site. And GE, they're gonna speed up, kind of, as long as the door opens, into a fake towards that mid. They're just holding now. Opening that door to apply pressure.
Just cutting sound. Kira on the off angle though. He's usually pretty good on the raise. One off a additional paint shell. He's done a lot of damage, but hasn't walked away with a frag. Shrimp on spawn side cleared up by Patman, and Fangir, who had to rotate because the door was opened, is now put in a very winnable position. Let's be honest, GE barely clinging to life. Position confirmed by Patman. This is where you try to stall the man out. Haunt, jiggle, jiggle. But Patman very much not interested in taking this stall. They just want to try to time him out. The spike is nice and open. GE set up around it, and the off angle, the peak from Patman at 3K there from last year's Rookie of the Year in Pacific is enough to secure GE yet another pistol.
A really nice mid-round call there to just slow it down, cut noise, open the door, apply that pressure, and force those rotates. They really played with all gamers there, but splitting up just wasn't it for all gamers. The flood into sight, kind of being successful for Kira, but he gets punished because he's alone once again. Of course, pushing into market too. Really nice strat. Really nice ability to take that map control before even trying to get that spike down. And it's going to be a buy here from GE, the Thrifty for AG.
All picked up. Handed over to Kira. They have been loving his showstoppers, and I can't blame them. The camera taking pictures of a bunch of GE. It's a group photo.
घुस जाओ कोई नहीं है
Good
भाई
times in B,
टिप
mate.
भी
There's
नहीं
not
लगे
really a whole lot to worry them here.
easy चलो
Contacting up through that smoke.
Market
Prowler's
भी
going
खा
to come
लिया
out, make sure they don't
अरे
have
easy plant रे मारो plant
bothering them from
back side
market.
भी ले लो
Front sight is secured though. They're going to be able to get that spike down, but
नहीं?
still playing it slow. Crystal has all of flank down. These players from all
हो गया
gamers just trying to find that isolated player. It's all the way in spawn though.
They just don't really give
Okay,
away too much.
paid
I
का
think
free
all
kill है
gamers are
free
playing
kill
the
is coming
purest game so far.
nice one
Shrimp caught on spawn
और भी
side,
free kills
shooting
मिलेंगे
out
Okay.
the other side of the spawn.
neon भी
but
बनेगा
checked
cypher
well by Patman. So far, not really too much
Crystal.
damage to speak of
अरे
here by all
देख
gamers
देख
who
देख
may isolate Crystal, but with a Marshall
कृष्ण मारा पीछे देखना
in
पड़ेगा
towards spawn side, I don't think he's really going to care too much.
Oh
my
क्या
God.
घुमा रही वो last
He was
second
hoping to catch his Russian
भाई
counterpart off guard there, but
legit घुमा है वो
given the
एकदम ही
opportunity. And as it stands here,
nice one
cleaning up everything that they would have wanted. 7
Crystal
apiece,
घुमा
a
रही वो
flawless
timing
anti-eco,
वही
yet another
क्या
great
घुमा रही
start to
वो
a half.
Neck and neck.
Damn.
The bonus now for global esports.
रिप्ले देखा होगा उसका
All gamers are going to have their
मेरे को
buy.
लगा मरा है
Their
क्रिस्टल डेड है
defensive rounds I've talked about previously from Team Heretics, the way that they played against
बड़ी
them. It
क्या
looked
बोल रहे थे
really,
जी
really
नहीं
good,
खेल
and
पा
I
रही
think
Are you sure
I'm
about
interested
that?
to see how they play against
अरे
this
खेल
team
लिया भाई
because again, this is
उन्हें
the
क्या तो मैप
first
पिक
time
है
that we've
हो
seen
जाएगा
this map
easy
for all gamers this year.
Yeah, coming back
तो
into
अब
the pool,
देखते हैं
Sunset may kind of
क्या
decide
सीन
some of these series that we have here at EWC. It's a classic round, fisticuffs
Oh,
over AGRQ. Defending
90.
elbows super nicely. Fangir's got him back with the relay ball,
What's
just
that area
pushing
also?
GE away, who throw down their own hot hands. Autumn considering the
Nah,
curveball. In the
nah.
meantime, though, walking through the top middle smoke, Kira is more than
चलो
ready for it. And this is not what GE bargained for on their bonus. Harvey also called off by Shrimp.
अरे
The last two players on elbow, it's a nice double
GG कर
pick
दिया भाई
timing.
इनका तो
Only
ये
one
वाला
kill
राउंड
for
तो
GE, which
वही ना
earns himself his run it back, but that's not something you're going to be happy with.
They're going to be happy
बोनस
with
था ना
that one,
ऐसे
at least all gamers
करो
is.
बाय
Still chilling. I think they're really happy with where they are, even though they lost that pistol. 8-7. This just kind of goes to show how close this game is going to be. And I think this is what we expected too when we were talking about this earlier. It's the fact that it's going to be
हो
neck
जाएगा
to
ये
neck. It's
इजी है
going to
भाई
be
इजी
scrappy, a lot of fighting going on. And the aggression from both these teams has been really nice to watch.
It's good money for all gamers. 4 players with about 2k in the back pocket should things go awry here. GE walking up in B main. They've been keeping this attacking side pretty simple so far. Just been death balling on in. And why wouldn't you when you've got to run it back to lead the way? Straight into the Cypher setup by peeking in front of his utility is not really how all gamers would have wanted that to go.
Yeah, the
Nice
Cypher
entry,
setup just not being good enough. No delay at all. They keep playing retake on this B site, and now they haven't been able to take it back just yet. Fangir
ओहो
trying to
कितना
get a
छोटा
pick
एंगल है
here, but
भाई
Autumn holding a really nice pixel angle.
इतना छोटा
Falls
एंगल है
just off of it. These players for GE playing a post plan, aggressing all of a sudden into the site. It is all gamers, even though they got hit by that nightfall. It's going to delay them just a little bit, unable to just go in and scale. Players taking this market. Udo, he knows no one's there. Everyone's out back site.
नाइस वन
Javi gets the pick
मस्त एंगल है
onto
बेटे
Shrimp
वैसे
and GRQ trying to find anything. Kira,
नाइस
Patman
नाइस निकल
trades
गया
back and forth.
Oh.
GRQ with another. Patman with another.
Easy.
Back and forth once again.
Easy.
And these players, they're chasing after Fangi here, trying to get him to
Oh,
not save this and not die to the spike.
Another round win for GE. Cypher Trip will confirm that he's made it out of dodge, but all gamers, I think it's good that they've held on to one gun. The rest of the boys will have money to reinvest in that one, but GE keeping things simple has
Who
worked
do
out
you
a treat for them.
think
The
is
right
gonna
back
win?
leads the way into the site,
G
and the post
G
plant was easy as you
G
like.
जीतेगी भाई
Patman, courtesy of
Easy
his
भाई, easy.
multi-frag on the pistol there, earns himself a
RC5
nice
bro,
early
welcome
on.
to
We
stream
saw them
भाई
putting spike
और
plants
बताओ यार
and some
कैसे हो
orbs into that as
तुम्हें क्या
well.
लगता है कौन
I think
जीतेगा
that
अरे
ultimate
जी
really
भाई जी
secured
बोल
this round after a clean pick onto the Cypher.
Yeah, that mid-round has been really nice here, even after the post plants for
बालों से खेलते हैं
GE.
सीन नहीं है
On that pistol, taking market, knowing they can't get that spike down without any space. They're prioritizing, pushing, and playing aggressive, making sure they're
Hi.
able to play a post-plant situation from more than just that B main angle.
सही पा
And they've done it again this round, using the Nightfall to delay for so long the outcome from backside, because once again they had that market control. If I'm all gamers here, I'm talking about how we're going to fix our retakes. Yes, Spy wasn't
Ole,
able
golden
to
ring.
delay as much on site on that Cypher, but
Damn.
still taking more than one angle in their retakes. Yes, they're trying to trade coming out backside 4 players in a nice retake, nice little crossfire, but no one's going to peek into them. GE, they've been so good at not giving that up.
I mean, I'm seeing similar problems for both teams, quite honestly, in the fact that I feel like people are playing off angles a lot and playing for picks coming into the side. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that. But in general, if you can wait for the big punchy pieces of utility, like a really high percentage paranoia through part of the site, or you have a really nice retake plan where the utils actually hit, that's when things get a lot easier for you coming back into B. B main dominated. You don't have to end up in a retake if the other team doesn't make it into B main.
ये मिल जाएगा स्पाइक के छोड़ा पर
Have to test the other side of the map.
फिर लेके जाएगा
Sports
स्पाइक
working their way into elbow now.
All gamers, 3 guns online for them. The 3
मिल गया ये मिल
rifles.
गया
Cypher playing that passive setup by. He knows
अरे
that
एक बटन देखा
when he
क्यूट
hears it,
क्या था
that
देखा नहीं
camera's
मैंने
gonna spot 3 of those players. And the rotates are coming in, but
Easy,
this is
easy,
where
easy.
they've struggled. The
टिप
retakes,
तोड़ दी
they're playing
Nice.
completely off. There's almost no delay. Kira, he does have the rocket online, but they need to
नहीं
come up
नहीं
with a
नहीं
good
नहीं
plan because GE, they've taken towards spawn. They're trying to push in. They're trying to deny all
बैटमैन को
that
मारना
space.
पड़ेगा ना जीजू होगा
Seas comes out.
Oh.
Utils exchanged here. Autumn.
अरे कुछ
Punish
क्यों कर
on
रहे
spawn
हो
side. In goes the rocket from Kira. Really looking for anyone on GE, leading the way, zoning the rest of GE away. Horde comes out, confirms Harvey's position. Unitarn down on
Nice.
Jen, and now it's just Patman and Crystal
X-Men.
trying to get it done from elbow side. A lot for Crystal to do
Crystal
here.
clutching
He's
this
been mechanically very sharp lately. Half
निकाल
the zone
देगा
from Shrimp.
Yep.
He's not going to stick it to completion. It's a up down there from all gamers.
double
Perfection on
pick
top
up
of the
there.
spike, and
Oi,
they'll
nice.
take the lead.
They've
Good
learned
था,
their
but cute था.
lesson, holding passive in
Yeah.
spawn, knowing that something was going to happen. They were going to take some sort of control. And all gamers punish Autumn for pushing too deep into spawn, overextending, trying to use that curveball to get away with it, but unable to. And a beautiful use of util. The haunt timing too, coming in with that rocket to be able to scan that player top site, allow Kira to get that pick. Really nicely done, and just the timing on the spacing here as well, the pathing, everything looking really good for all gamers.
Yeah, really segmenting GE and making them uncomfortable with the rocket was very, very nice. Now they have put GE in much the same kind of position, only the singular rifle being afforded courtesy of some multi-fragging in from Crystal. All gamers really looking to secure control of their economy if they can. A couple of players with some extra cash. Outlaws there for Fangir. Crystal's found Kira. It's a nice pick from the Cypher, who has overextended in 1 or 2 of these rounds.
Oh, damn.
Spike dropped in B main. That's going to be a hard for GE.
Oh,
and the
bhai,
Outlaw
oh,
is
bhai.
really kind of getting
Mara
some
out
carnage done here. Autumn with the Bandit.
Oh, he
Doing
got
a
beat.
lot of work, quite honestly.
Oh,
Pushing
nice
things into
one,
a
Autumn.
2-on-2. This is still winnable. Shrimps over on spawn side.
Nah.
Crystal will join Autumn. He's gonna
Blinded.
curveball in combination there with the neural theft. Caught by the Seas is Autumn. He's under a lot
Nice
of
one.
pressure here. Spike going down from Crystal in the back lines.
निकल गया,
Autumn
निकल गया, बच गया,
trying
बच
to
गया.
bark as
हो
loud
सकता है,
as
हो
he
सकता है,
can.
do.
He's one off a run it back. That's his
Autumn
last
का मारना
curveball.
पड़ेगा.
There's the Prowler for AG. Very tentative. Trying to clear out Autumn in this close corner. Crystal trying to play off of the back of Autumn's contact here.
Okay, nice one.
Missing his shot. That's the last Prowler out.
Nice one,
Shrimp.
nice. निकाल दिया, निकाल दिया,
GRQ
निकाल दिया.
going down here.
Oh,
Little bit
reload
of
आ गया
damage
उसका.
now as we head into a one-on-one. Shrimp very much
दिख
ready
गया,
for
दिख
the
गया.
peak, and there you go, Crystal. Unfortunately, the backwards crab walk is not as effective when you're playing against a Shrimp. He's all over the crustacean movements.
That's crazy, Shrimp. One of the
Reload आ
players
गया
we
अभी
talked
Autumn का.
about in the
उसको मार देता.
pre-show because he's been so phenomenal, especially in those clutches, especially with his util. He's just constantly been top fragging as well, able to trade. And I think their Autumn chaining
क्रॉस
his
नहीं करना था
util
उसको,
to
क्रिस्टल
try
को
to
पता
delay
है.
that
तो
retake
क्रॉस
for
नहीं
as
करता
long
ना.
as
क्या
possible.
मार देता.
Fangir getting
तो ऐसे
free
लेना था
as
पहले,
well.
लेना नहीं था
All
उसको.
gamers, they're still not going to be happy though, I think, with this round.
ये
The
देख,
fact
क्रॉस
that
किया है.
they
वो
got so
चाहता तो
close,
पीछे जाता
they
आराम
had
से.
those pistols
मार भी
online
सकता
as
था.
well.
पकड़
It's
नहीं
just a
करता. वही.
struggle there. By just
है ना.
getting caught off guard once again
पता था ना वो
with his
क्या फायदा
ciphers,
था.
just standing out in the open, trying to get some sort of peek, and is just punished. Fangir getting the 3 though, being one of the main reasons why they won this round. Global Esports though running it down towards A this time, going fast, changing up the pace. The
Yeah.
util's all out and this site's free.
GRQ on the off angle. Not ready for Autumn underneath him. Takes a ton of damage. Now
Nice
Crystal.
day,
Nice
Crystal.
double inside the middle. That's a man advantage now for
Rotated
GE
play,
as
bhai.
Patman gets this spike down.
Crystal's
है.
been getting
और
so
भी 3 अब
many
तो.
picks towards this mid, getting picks on the rotators every single time now. At least
Off
3
कर रही है.
rounds he's
Yeah.
done that and punished
Nice,
them.
dance पड़ा, dance पड़ा.
Post time coming in. A lot of util
भगा दिया
chasing
उसको
after
भाई
that
पूरा.
player in spawn, but unable to connect.
बढ़िया.
3v4, 2 players coming in from a link. The Nightfall goes down. Shrimp punishes Javi and Elbow.
Nice one, nice
Patman
one.
getting the
Easy.
pick onto GRQ as well. The op goes down. Fangir unable to get anything, and Shrimp down
Nice
on
round,
site.
GG.
It's a really nice reset for GE. That's the round that they were looking for. They will be a little bit disappointed that they didn't get the round previous, but they know how
Wait.
much damage they did. They marched into that next gun round, knowing that the reset
पिछला भी
was
निकल जाता बस,
definitely
कोई बात
theirs
नहीं.
for the taking. Still trailing by 1
गया तो
round,
गया.
but should be able to get through an anti-eco here. And this has just been super back and forth. Both of these
हम
teams
ऐसा
fighting really
खेलने
hard for
कब
the first
सीखेंगे
map of the
फन बाउ
series.
पता नहीं
I find
यार.
it kind of crazy that all gamers keep falling into
मैं
this
भी एक
trap
से
that
apply कर रहा
Crystal
हूँ,
set
मतलब
up towards mid, where he's just lurking.
बैठे रहो भाई,
catching
जरूरी नहीं है
those
तुम्हें पुश करना
rotators
है
off guard.
हर बार.
Every single time he manages to get a pick,
बैठे
and it
रहो.
just makes that
ये
retake
चीज अप्लाई
10
करो
times
थोड़ा, बहुत
harder.
काम आएगा. लाइक मैंने
They
देखा है, ये
keep
लोग
trying
बैठे
to
रहते
play
बैठे
this
भाई इनको
retake
फ्री
as
किल्स
well,
मिलते हैं आराम
just
से. लोग
looking out
वॉक
for
इन
them
करते हैं.
when they're not
अपने
all
आप.
there. The util as well.
वो जरूरी नहीं है तुम
Heavily
हर
reliant
बार
on
पुश
Shrimp.
करो.
If he
मैं ये
falls,
सीखा अभी तो.
kind of
ये
rough, but
मैं
a
कर भी रहा हूँ
3
थोड़ा
here
थोड़ा.
for all gamers. Shotgun and a
पर
stinger.
अभी जो गेम खेला
on
था
the
हमने
board,
उससे
trying
तो
to get
पुश
for
करना
one.
पड़ा.
Play for
अपर
one,
लॉबीज में
picking
काम
towards
करती है
mid.
रे. इधर का
Crystal's
कोई भी
gonna
कुछ भी
shut
खेलता
down
है.
Shrimp.
कभी काम भी कर सकता है, नहीं भी कर
Literally the
सकता.
exact
इजी है
same
थोड़ा.
angle that he picked Kiro on last round. Or maybe 2 rounds ago. Outlaw looking pretty good in this round. All gamers with a lot of light armor. So
Yeah.
bait set up for Fangir
Ah.
here. GRQ trying to be the
Okay,
best
the giant
salesman
है.
possible.
बढ़िया,
but the
बढ़िया,
blaze
बढ़िया.
wall goes up. GE are not interested. They're going to be heading to the other store. Straight into the A site. I mean, not
Elbow
that
clear नहीं है
is
तुम लोग
dirty
का.
here. That is
Elbow
at
check
least
करो.
going to be cause for concern. The cage to follow up, but
देखा,
they're going to
देखा,
clear
देखा.
it from the other side. Paranoia is
Nice
not going
one,
to be good
nice
enough
one,
to hit Udaton there. The Bucky is getting to work, but we all know
कितने
about
दूर
the
मार
nerfs.
देगा? कितने
It's
दूर
not
मार
going to be a
देगा?
follow-up kill onto Autumn.
ट्रिप लगी है, easy.
Here, right here.
तोड़ो.
That's gonna be heard, and he touches the
Nice
turret.
one.
Nothing really gonna come out of that one. Crystal getting the pick, and Patman shutting it down. All
Nice one,
gamers
nice one.
here. Feels like this next round is super important for them, trying to get ahead. But for GE, it feels like they're very comfortable. They're able to get
Good,
that
right?
mid control with Crystal, like we said. They're able to
क्या
just be able to
लक्ष्या
execute
मालविया
as
हेलो
well.
भाई
And it feels
वेलकम
like
स्ट्रीम
they're
पे
just
कोई
baiting
भी
a lot of these rotates. They're
कर
playing with
सकता
it in the
है
mid round.
क्या वॉच
Their
पार्टी
post-spawns have been really good
नहीं
as
यार
well.
एक्चुअली
It's
फॉर्म
slightly
निकला था
readable, the
उसमें
fact that
अप्लाई
they're
किया
gonna
था तो
aggress,
जिन लोग का
but
अप्रूवल
you
मिला है
always
अप्रूवल
don't know
मिला है
which
वही
side
लोग
they're
कर
gonna
रहे
do
हैं
it. And they've used a lot of really good util as well.
GE, I think,
कोई भी अगर करेगा तो उसको तो
putting themselves a
कॉर्पोरेट स्ट्राइक
little
पड़
bit
जाएगा
out
बड़ी
in front,
उड़ा
but
देंगे उसका
AG
तो खेल
haven't
खत्म
taken
है
attack timeout. Want to make some adjustments on this defensive
मेरी
side.
आवाज सही आ रही है ना
Still
या
anyone's game for the
इसके ज़्यादा आ
taking
रही है
here.
आवाज
Elimination on the line and Sunset, you know, coming out of left
सही
field
आ रही
here
है
in the veto.
Yeah.
सही है
GE
सही है
always like to
सब
be
सही है
tricky and difficult to prepare for in every single veto. I remember speaking to
EWC का
somebody
फॉर्म
about
भर
this
दो
last
भाई
night, and they
easy
said that's easier for me to prepare for because you just don't. You just focus on what your team is doing, and then you just figure it out on the fly. There's no point preparing for a team that just changes their comp every single time.
That's very valid. Jumping in though.
10-10 भाई
10-10
जी निकालना
here.
पड़ेगा कर
Well
दो बे
needed
खत्म
timeout
कर दो
for all gamers. Rifles, full gun buy for both sides. Fangir has the op though. This operator might be key in them for being able to get those lines on the defensive side and
नियॉन
understand
मस्त
how
स्टॉप किया
to
एक्चुअली
rotate
अटैकिंग में
off
तो
of them.
डिफेंडिंग तो
Two of
भाई
these
खुद
players,
ही
they're
आएंगे
pushing
में
towards
तो
that B
देखना
main.
पड़ेगा
Trying to do some sort of seize nade combo if they see anyone.
Okay.
It's not going to catch because all 5 players of GE are towards this mid.
Money is
Mid
fantastic here for GE.
easy
If
भाई
they can reset
वो
all
ए पे
gamers yet again, then
घुस जाओ
this
मार्केट
should be their game on a silver platter, straight towards the middle of the map. They've read this so
ए नहीं
well. But can they deal with the
Nah.
3 stack over towards A
देखो क्या
here
होता
for
है
all gamers?
निकालो निकालो
Tucked
साइफर
himself into generator, nice and snug, slid on in.
Nice
That's a
one.
nice entry,
Nice
picking off the back of
trade.
that contact.
अरे निकाल लिया
GRQ
रे
only going 1-for-1, but Fangir is the player
अब
that
भी
they
हाँ
haven't
ये क्लियर
checked
नहीं
in
किया ना
elbow, and
इन
he's
लोगों
causing
ने
some problems.
कैसे भी
Trying
करते
to
हैं वो तो
find
मेरे से आते हैं
another
चलो कोई ना
shot. Crystal, he is
Backstab.
2 of these players.
क्रिस्टल तेरे के लिए
Here in
तेरे के
Shrimp,
लिए
they're walking up
क्रिस्टल
towards the same lane.
राइट
They might catch him off guard. Crystal gets punished, and now the side has been
ना ब्रो
flipped. 3 of these players trying to retake from that
तो
A
पीछे खेल
lane.
लेता
Elbow
वो
is being taken. The op is holding it down. Kira's going to walk up with Fangir. The paranoia goes in. The shot misses. The
वेट
knife
क्या आने
falls
का
out.
लॉल
Javi, that dark cover to delay. These players are going to have to run through it. The time just isn't that there.
अरे उसका माउस अटक गया
Fangir, Autumn, Shrimp
एंटी
with a pick onto Autumn, and they actually win that retake.
Yeah, that's rough. I felt like Harvey, you know, he was doing well to drop the paranoia and the
Yeah.
dark
अच्छा
cover.
किया
Really
था
nice
पर
timing, but he
क्रिस्टल
needed
के
at
पीछे
least
खेलना था
one
पता
there
है
to give Autumn a bit of a hand.
क्रिस्टल पीछे
All
खेलता ना
gamers, that's
उसको
a
पीछे
nice
वाले मिल
retake
जाते
there,
और
but
उसको तो
with
ले
only
ही जा
2
रहे तुम
players
लोग तो
surviving, this is
कोई
still
ना
very much hanging in the balance. GE haven't gotten themselves the spike plant there, and with plenty of cash in the bank, still
कौन
have
देगा
this
था वो
reset
अपना
potential, but that'll only last so long.
I think now too, GE, they know that operator's online for Fangir. They're going to be able to understand that he's going to set it up somewhere, try to get some sort of peek. I'm wondering if they're going to change there, at least push him off. And maybe they might be a little bit more scared to set Crystal up towards mid. But instead, contact play towards the same aim.
Patman's ate the boom bot there as the slide in
Nice one.
yet again is quite fruitful for GE.
ओ मार दिया उसने ओ तरीके एस कर सकता है
GE absolutely roll this A site and
भाई
finally it
उड़ोटन
seems like they're breaking through.
क्रेजी
With
भाई
the confidence to just execute, hold W into his sight, knowing that there could be an
ये
operator
क्या मारा
there.
बे
They
इसने
blocked off that elbow with the neon wall
खाली
and
कर
just
दिया भाई
took that
खाली
full A-link side. Like you said, beautiful
सेव
paranoia
करेंगे
from Javi.
ऑप
They
है सेव
played that
करेंगे
so well. GE
ठीक है चलेगा
trying
कोई
to
बात नहीं
punish that operator if they were set up on either of those sides. Of course, Udo with a
तो
beautiful
सब पे पैसे भी
3K
नहीं है
there
और सिर्फ
to
एक
shut
ऑपरेटर
it
एक
down.
वेंडल ही है
All gamers,
कुछ
though,
नहीं
they're
है
going to try to hold on to this op. They're trying to hold on to this rifle.
इसको मार
as well.
दो
Bye.
ना रे
Second
मत
spawn
करो
is going
पिक
to catch Autumn.
ना
Not able to finish
मत
him
करो
off, though.
पिक
30 HP on him.
क्यों गिरा
Fangir
दो कहीं
trading spaces. The bait and switch, but this
No.
time with the op. They're going to see that there. Nothing too crazy, but Crystal, he's going towards B main to try to catch them off guard.
ओके
Autumn still
क्रिस्टल अबे अटक क्यों रहा है?
hanging around. And you're
नहीं
right,
आया
but
कोई
at
भी.
the same time,
चलो,
GE's
कोई ना.
money is a little bit battered from the last round. They don't feel the need to push the issue. They
ऑफ
just
है
want to
वो
make sure
बस
they can
ऑफ
min-max all the gun rounds towards
देखना
the
है.
end of
अबे
this half.
बस
Still 2
अपोजिट हो
left in
जाए.
play.
लाइक ऑफ इधर कर रहे हैं, लोग अपोजिट साइड पे. इजी है. उन पे गन्स ही नहीं
Whichever
है.
way you swing this, could definitely have an OT on our hands. A decent
क्या
enough
लगता है वो लोग
save
बाय
on in
करेंगे?
there for all gamers. It's
मेरे
gonna
को
be a
लगता है नहीं
scrappy
करेंगे.
buy,
वो
let's be
लास्ट राउंड
honest,
के लिए ये
but
करेंगे शायद.
at least one rifle, an operator, and a
11
showstopper
है ना.
is decent enough to
या
work
भाई
with.
अरे
The only
किया.
player who really kind of is
Half
left
by, half
wanting
by,
is
half by.
definitely GRQ, but an Omen with the judge can get
देखो
work
क्या
done
होता
at the best of times, especially on elbow.
Fangir
Mid मत ही
offing
जाओ.
towards mid, trying to shut down that one lurker
Nice one, nice,
that they
nice one.
found the whole time. He's actually going to get spotted by the cam, and that's really good information here for Global Esports.
Yep.
Please take
Yep.
the dart out.
That's
ऑफ वाले को
classic.
टैग कर दिया. इजी.
And not just the pistol.
ओके. मिड पे आवाज मचा रहे
Applying
हैं.
some pressure towards the middle of the map. With Harvey's dark cover, Blazewall to follow up. You know, Autumn is really just trying to apply
Okay.
pressure and make some noise, and he's
Yeah,
sensing
just
that he
spawn
has
ja,
a bit of a
spawn,
timing
spawn.
here. I think you can
Okay,
see
Cypher
from
निकलेगा,
Blaze's
चलेगा, Cypher
movements
निकलेगा,
that he
तब
might
चलेगा.
be aware
Cypher
of
आया,
that.
Cypher
He's
आया.
going looking in towards spawn side, as is
नहीं
Kira, and
जी.
unfortunately, Autumn will give up his life to the
यार
one
spawn
player that
जाता
can
थोड़ा
reveal
सा.
where the rest of
ये
Global
निकाल लेता
Esports are
उनका.
coming
यार.
from. Overdrive pulled out by Yutatan. GRQ tucking himself in towards Jen is going to be very
Udatan.
difficult to dig out. Patman
हर
is
बार
broken
नहीं
through
होगा.
onto Fanky. The operator is down.
वही.
Shrimp's found Udatan, but this is the player you've got to be concerned with. In the meantime, Kira has
Oh, cross,
put the
okay.
showstopper onto short side, and this is not going
Great
well for
भाई.
GE at all.
ये वाला
Just
जीतना
down to
चाहिए
Crystal
अजय
in
को.
a 1-on-4.
ये रहो.
Has a neural
जीती
theft
है.
of his own, but AG
और
are
पैसे हैं,
taking no
दिक्कत नहीं है उतना. कोई
chances.
ना. अरे
Definitely
क्या
gonna
बैठे
save
रे.
that for this last round. The high-low.
एक मारा. NT.
Crystal's going to be able to get one. Gets shut down by and by really good information.
है
Really
भाई
good
सीन है.
timing actually to just
अबे ये
turn
चीज
around
ट्राई
and
कर सकते हैं.
catch
क्या
Autumn
पता है
off
3
guard.
लोग ऐसे बैठ जाओ, 2 लोग
You
ऐसे
can
बैठ
see
जाओ.
the pings
एक
on
क्राउड
the
करके
minimap
खड़े
there.
होके.
They're
क्रेजी
trying
है.
to tell each other, hey, this is open. Please
और अपने
don't
लॉबीज
get
में
caught
तो
off
लाइक
guard,
बहुत
and that
गंदा ही काम
actually worked
करेगा.
out for them.
सोचो.
Yeah, good communication from all gamers.
Yeah.
बढ़िया है.
Got to stay on
Like,
top of
yeah,
that kind of
yeah.
thing. That's
There
the
we go.
difference between a tier 1 team and
Legit,
the
legit.
rest. Stuff from all gamers.
उसको तो मस्त
Definitely a
मारा.
losable round for them, and if they do lose that round, they're going to be
Yeah.
broken. That's probably going to be the end of the game.
ये निकाल दोगे ओडी ले
But GE
ओटी ले
now
ओटी
back
ले.
onto what looks like another
Easy
pretty
peasy
good
कर दो,
gun
easy
round.
peasy.
Nightfall in tow. Need to try to even this one up and
जाओ
push us
mid.
through to overtime.
पूरा मिड खा लिया भाई.
Walking up towards mid here. They've had so much success, Global Esports, so they're banking on it once again. The trip there gonna get destroyed, and they're pushing through market, but GRQ using that paranoia to delay these 3 players
Okay,
from the
okay.
side of all gamers. They've
निकल
played
जाओ, निकल जाओ
offside,
यहाँ से निकल जाओ,
walking
मजा
all the way
देगा.
back on. They've struggled to
Tech
hold the site before
nice.
Pam and
और एक, और एक, और एक.
beautiful dig onto Fangir.
Trade हो
That's
गया.
the
Okay,
operator
चलेगा.
down. And all of a sudden,
Nice
it's
push
4v2.
रे.
About to be overtime. Shrimp, unless he
निकाल
can
ली.
do something, gets a pick.
Bro.
Him and Kira trying to work this. Kira on the fast flank, but that neural theft's gonna let them
एक की
know
बस
where
ये.
he is. Crystal getting the
Crystal
pick onto
goat.
Kira and Shrimp.
Well, easy. इसका तो पता है.
Nothing left in his belt. No
राउंड है,
util,
राउंड है. नाइस हो, नाइस हो. ओटी ओटी.
just him and
अब
the
देखते हैं.
rifle against
डिफेंडिंग
the wall.
निकाल लो भी. अटैकिंग तो
Yeah.
हो रहा है इनसे अच्छा के
Very
लिए.
difficult position. Shrimp tried to
अच्छे
crack
लगे
back
भाई.
in onto that one. Finding himself a
बेटर आने
pick,
दो.
but GE,
वो तो
even
डिफ्यूज
after
करना है
this
उनको
smoke
क्या.
collapses, there's not much being shown to Shrimp here. He'll make first contact with Autumn, but it's a nice peek
Oh.
from Harvey.
वो पीछे ही
That's
मुड़ गया भाई. अगर
overtime.
पीछे होता तो
Global
लॉल अगर क्रॉस बैठे
Esports
थे तो.
Able to
बाप
hold
रे.
their nerve despite a little bit of a
Crazy, भाई.
shambolic round on the A side of the map just previously.
These teams neck and neck. Seems like that last round was so one-sided, and this round comes around, and again, it's
भाई
flipped
स्टैग्ड
the
था
other
फुल्ली.
side. It's
लॉल
just whichever
निकाल
team
दिया भाई जी ने.
is
एक्चुअली
able
जीत
to
सकता
adapt
था.
a lot quicker, understand, and
और
get
कैसे
those
निकाला
initial picks that get
कुछ
the
पता नहीं.
success.
बस निकाल दिया.
Fangir, of course, dying
ये
on
देखो.
this retake was really rough. Beautiful shot from
नीचे
Pan, though,
जी
to
है
shut
ऊपर
him
पूरी टीम
down.
बैठी है भाई.
And
सब
then
बैठे
again,
हैं.
they don't have any need to
Oh,
fight
backstab भी
super
आ रहा था क्या?
aggressively. The split worked out for them. They had all of market. They just played those
Nice,
post
nice.
runs beautifully. The peaks, the
क्या
timings,
घुमा रहे
the
वो.
trades. This is a GE that looks completely
निकालो भाई
different from
defending.
the last time we saw
ये
them.
राउंड निकालना पड़ेगा.
And now
चलो चलो.
they're back on that defensive side.
Yeah, it's a much better matchup for them. You know, the Pacific and the VCTCN teams very much familiar with each other, often practice together.
चलो मिड इन्फो एक
Autumn has
मिड है या
played
दो
over
है.
in
इजी.
VCTCN for quite a long time, so
मस्त
we'll
कर
know
रहे हो
exactly
बस.
what they're
थोड़ा
dealing
सही
with
करना.
here. Push from
स्पॉट हो
Autumn.
गया.
Udatan in tow as well.
ब्लाइंड.
Oh,
अरे.
instant neural theft off the back of that. He has just
गलती
won this
थोड़ी
round
सी.
outright.
He's been kind of quiet all game, struggling on the defense side whenever he's on that weak side, or unable to just hold his own. And now all of a sudden using that
Kaya.
power.
Oh, cross kya?
Pataman walks out into the smoke. Nobody knows he's out.
Oh,
Valorant getting a fourth.
bhai.
Could he get the ace in one of the most important rounds in this matchup? The ace!
Ace.
for Rai. I can't believe it. When it matters, he
Baap
comes
re.
back online.
That is rough for GE.
थोड़ा सा
Really
GG
throwing
कर
down the
दिया.
gauntlet here
ये
in
राउंड निकालना
overtime.
पड़ेगा.
They thought
नहीं
that they
तो
were going to be able to try and go
WP
for a
भाई.
peek inside of B main here, but that is perfect. Pi is
निकाला
just
बे.
sitting in the pocket,
साइफर ने निकाल
waiting
दिया
for
राउंड
them to
पूरा.
go on the front
एस
foot.
मार दिया ऊपर
As
से.
soon as the
Easy
curveball
भाई.
and the curveball and the relay bolt come out from the neon, it's a perfectly timed peak.
GE though falling back into that trap where they overextend a little bit too much, pushing towards that B main. They get spotted instead of falling back right away and repositioning and forcing all gamers to use their util to re-clear or at least use their bodies. They just stay. They stay there for way too long. Yes, they could have traded. Yes, bye. He had a life round right there. But still, feels like they should have learned that from that first half. We saw it so often where they overextended, they overstayed their welcome.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just one of those things, you know. You can sit back and try to play for some of these retakes, especially with Cypher as your sentinel, and if you have kind of these well-drilled plans, then it can go well for you. But I understand why GE stay on the front foot, and I feel like today a lot of the timings are just not really working for them, unfortunately. AG are a little bit more switched on. They're often getting the better end of these trades. And this is AG's chance to finally close out Sunset here. 4 players ready as this elbow pressure is coming in from GE. Up goes the fast lane. They're very much kind of trying to feel this one out. Immediate season response there from Strip. And out goes Fangir. GE under pressure now. The Boombot and the Prowler making Autumn uncomfortable. And Avi only comes up with one. That's not going to be good enough.
Crystal clutching this. Nah.
On the
Was he
verge
4?
of closing out their opponent's map pick. Crystal in a 1-on-4 peeking into yet another high-low, and that's going to be VCTCN getting themselves
Next
that
match
first
maybe.
map win. Pacific just continues to struggle here.
All gamers winning GE's map pick. They hit
Abe.
this map so
MIB
far
आगे
in
क्या
this
चल रहा है?
tournament, haven't played it yet. And now all of a sudden show.
ये देख और कौन सा देख रहे हो अभी? ये देखे तो क्या चल रहा है?
That means those players on Team Heretics can just hold the line, plant their feet. Away we go. Woot and Kazmar is instantly up 2.
Immense improvements compared to the first outing. 2 quick kills
ये भी
found.
क्रॉस चल रहा है भाई. ये ओडी में है.
Still
Damn,
the
bhai,
3
damn.
deadliest members of MIBR alive and in the mix here is
Second.
Spray and Prey looking for Rienz, but they're unable to find it. It's just going to be a tiny little bit of damage, but Zekin's going to eat more in kind. Paint shell to the corner. First on the repeat will lose his head, but here's the reveal. Both players worked low. Second down to a sliver, Mazzino.
अरे बाप रे वॉल बैंग दे रहे हैं तो
Seize will connect on the Veggie Fishy, but no one's there to try to flush him out. The 3v3, but it still feels so very favored for Team Heretics. It's just the duelists left once again. The swinging from Zekin punished Aspas. Nearly spammed out, but the time is gone. He just cannot make it happen. He is surrounded, he is dead, and Heretics
यहाँ पे
are
मैं भी
back
आ
up
रही
to
है.
that point.
Damn भाई.
And this time, Heretics turns the Jets on and just comes out swinging. 2 quick kills right off the round drop. That's got MIBR reeling. That was about all you really needed here in this round. Then you're scrambling. I mean, sure, you get a couple spams through the walls and things like that to fall your way, but it's just too much for MIBR Los to climb through. So they say, oh boy, time to take our time out ourselves and see if we can get another reset going. Looked like it was maybe going to be their map. They get that defender side win initially, but Heretics answers right back. The firepower between these two teams, so impressive today. Just so much good, clean shooting. I'm so impressed by both squads. I mean, a lot of good changes, a lot of good adaptations, finding their moments to change the tempo here and there. What is this going to look like?
It needs to look clean. IBR about to be pushing in against
Look
this
up
Odin.
look at now.
Back into the hands of Koshmaris, trying to catch them off guard. And look at the potential fight we have outside of B. Slide in.
Lee. Wait, attack you, yeah?
He's going to be immediately dispatched. Woot only able to find the one before getting traded as well. That's a massive early victory here for MIBR. Benji Fishy alone on this side of the map, but it looks like MIBR will look to try to reroute. Slowly working their way back out towards that attacker's spawn.
ASUS popped that wall or not? It was pinged out, so no, he did not. He's just leaving it there. Doesn't want to give any indication just yet. Wants to make them still consider other ideas, but they're actually going to try to wait this out somehow, some way.
Who's going to stairs?
Blue's got the right read.
And Jiggle peeking it with that TP.
Okay.
The door now. Hit the Prowler.
Nice,
spotting up
Prowler.
Benji's position. Or getting
कल
taken.
पर
He's
तक
gonna
मैंने
get
देखा
for
था
one, but Aspas
किसने निकाला था वो
will just counter
क्या नाम था
swing in.
उसका
Some revenge for Mazzino. Now it's Rienz and
सेव कर
Boo.
दिया था पता है भूल गया मेरे को
Try to bring this back,
तो
to
था
bring
भी
this map to an end. 2v3, it's absolutely
और कॉलर
doable.
डायरेक्ट नहीं हुआ था वो था पीछे जाके 3 मार दिया था कौन सी टीम थी वो भूल गया मैं
How many times have we seen these players clutch?
ए भाई
They have it in them. They still have a paranoia as well. The Haunt, 2 Prowlers.
So much to clear this tree angle. The real wild card here is Tex.
He's got a cam available, but he hasn't set it up. Always playing back, so didn't get into a position to try to situate it, but you'd love to have that at the back of sight towards drop. Meanwhile, tap of the defuse. The face forward, Boo able to find the first, but Aspas clean tap, takes down Rienz. Boo has to do it all again. The time is just not going to be on his side. They dance around his shots. It's 14-14. MIBR still in this fight.
Yeah, it's their turn this time to just hold the W key for a bit, go for those opening kills, win the battle at B main, and then use that extra player that they have to kind of work the map a little bit. Delayed push towards an identification.
No.
Allows him to get some big kills in that round. 22 on the duelist for MIBR Los. Slower push this time, but C being identified. Bruno has to get the heck out of there.
Now the TP ready. Makes his exit. Orb going to be grabbed by Woot. 2 charges from having a showstopper online. Aspas so far forward. Ready to intercept and catch Kosmaris, who's completely unawares of this. And the dash forward down. Aspas delivers himself unto death as Boo will quickly strike him down. A duelist dead on either side.
उधर होल्ड कर सकता था डैश क्या मारा पीछे वो
Feeling invisible. Full pressure there was
ये इनका
Aspas.
EWC का इशू है रे मेरा नहीं हो रहा
Like there was going to be another layer behind Koshmaris. Wasn't anything.
देखता हूं तो नहीं होता ऐसे लोड यही होता है मतलब इन लोग का ही है
At least evens it up for Heretics. Now they're going to be taking their time a bit. Look at Mazzino here. Just going to be hiding right around the corner behind that box. Him and Tex trying to use that trip as a kill trip around A if they go that way, but a pivot from Heretics. So this high-low stack, Bruno Zekin. Is it going to be identified in time? Should be, you would think.
Paranoia paint shot. That's available.
Haunt as well.
Boombot going to lead the way. The Haunt going to be cleared out. And Splash packs up on top of the box, is able to find Zekin. And that's that nade that could have critically delayed and denied this plant from coming in out of the equation completely. After the tuck back, go for the reload. Haunt over the top as Tex tries to go scaling forward. Two players going to be revealed. They have him lined up, but he's only able to collect the 1 kill as Rienz will mow down the remaining 2. Heretics once again up to map point.
क्या स्मोक से वही मैं देख रहा हूं भाई
Another nail biter of a round. But when it comes to parity, that's when MIBR tries to just split the map 2-2 and set up cheeky little trap plays, but with so much util still in the bank for Heretics. I'm not sure how I feel about that high-low setup. There's just too much to identify it and deal with.
पीछे नहीं जाता था आसपास को भाई Waldo mano.
They're able to get up on the box. There just isn't enough left in the tank. IBR gonna need to go huge here. Send us another reset. And that's at a spot out in Averno, so.
ASUS diving in, just gonna be eating some damage for free, relatively.
निकल जाओ.
Paranoia is gonna be exchanged. In the end, I mean, it's a stalemate. It's one that
Next
Heretics
to
still benefit from. They maintain their positions. Now, the scale forward gonna be
निकल नहीं हो रहा.
Averno dead and
overtimes, but get the job done. Six
हार गई.
the title.
coming up next, but
Wow.
Put down your baguettes and brie and get ready for game number 2, hoping for game 3. Global Esports just went to overtime but fell short. We have a very sad Pilski who is watching the Pacific get bodied. Pilski, we need to see a little bit of resurgence right now. We saw the players coming out, smiles on their faces on the stage. They look unfazed despite a very narrow loss at the end of last game.
I thought it was a winnable game. I thought that they played quite decently. And as I said before, this map, they know their way around it well. So I'm sure they know that all gamers are great at it as well, but they're not going to feel like this is an unwinnable series.
Athena, you were saying, though, AGAL, pick Split for a reason. You've seen this team go here in the past. Why are they strong in this map?
I mean, they're just so good. I feel like their defensive side, the aggression that they use, especially with Kira, has been really good. I feel like they fall back on time. Their setups in the mid-rounds are really good. I feel like we saw a little bit of that on that Sunset as well, just making sure they're gambling a lot of the right sides. And as well, on their attack, they've been absolutely phenomenal. And I think this team just in general, when you can take Heretics on in this map and win, it really speaks a lot.
I feel like we've seen nothing but Ascent, Lotus, and Breeze on this stage until this series.
Yeah.
Why is Split not in everyone else's, I guess, top 3 of choices?
Yeah, it's a bit weird. You see a lot of it in Pacific. I'm honestly sick to death of seeing Split, but I guess maybe some of the other regions outside of Asia are a little bit scared of playing it. It's, you know, it's some tight corners.
We
and
see
things
it a
like
bit
that.
in America.
You know, the judges might make you a little bit upset. If you're soft, you might not play something like that. But over in Pacific, we're playing that all the time.
You guys love your shotguns.
Yeah, we do. I was looking at that game, by the way, Puckett. That was also an OT. We had an OT on both of the stages, and Heretics won on the A stream. That was a gigabanger.
Reminder, we are also continuing group stages on Tuesday, as we'll have our final deciders moving forward. Today, we're sending 2 more teams into our playoff bracket. 2 more teams will be sent packing, joining our 2 squads that went out yesterday. The big surprise of the tournament, Paper Rex out already after multiple second places and always looking to be in contention for a grand final. They were eliminated by Carmine Corps. We could see up to 3 French squads represented, or 3 French orgs here in Paris. And if you just watched recent events, Athena, this place is going to be taken over by fans.
Oh, yeah. First of all, the arena is insane. I've seen the stage being set up with all the seats for the crowds. If that fills up, the sound in here is going to be insane, especially if those French teams take the stage. The cheers are going to evaporate into this huge arena, and it's going to be kind of wild. And I think as well, too, I'm really excited to see the baguettes coming in.
Yes, all the baguettes.
You're a big fan.
I love baguettes.
I've seen you eat many.
He brings them in every morning.
Yeah.
If you don't have a fresh baguette, you're doing it wrong. Like, if you're eating yesterday's baguette, you're really doing it wrong. Let's talk a little bit about our teams, as we still have a bit of a delay on this stage. If we can get a camera on a few of the players, I'd like to highlight the potential stars. Who here from AGAL is breaking out from the Chinese region to really showcase their skill at a global level? Because like you said, they're playing at the same time as Pacific. A lot of people may be tuning into one stream or not the other. This is their time to meet these guys.
Yeah, I think for me, AG, it's not like a story of one player. I think they play quite a good, well-rounded game, and they have a lot of different people that they can lean on. Maybe that leads you in a direction where you get some inconsistencies from some of the individuals, and you might not get the results that you want. But I think multiple players could step up. They do like to swap around the duelist role a lot. I love what I see from Fangir, especially at the start of the year. I felt like he was kind of carrying this team a little bit, but as we've gone deeper into the year, and AG have continued to put together pretty respectable results, both domestically and internationally, quite honestly, I think that this team is extremely well-rounded and everyone can pull their weight.
Yeah.
Athena, what did you like in-game from this squad? Who has a strong role on this team?
I mean, for me, it's got to be Shrimp every single time. I feel like when I see him using his initiator util, it's been phenomenal. He also puts up the frags behind it. And I think for Shrimp, too, he's actually not IGLing regardless of being the initiator. It's actually Kira, which is their duelist. So it's insane that Kira's also able to IGL and play duelist. That's actually one of the hardest combinations to do when it comes to Valorant, because you're constantly trying to call for everyone to set you up, and you're also engaging in the fire, engaging in the fight in the middle of it, and you're also trying to make calls for the rest of your team. It makes sense why all gamers are super aggressive in this server, though, because Kira tends to do a really good job at taking a lot of that space.
Pilsky, do you like the idea of the tip of your spear also being the shot caller?
In other games, yes. Like, I think traditionally in TAC FPS, you see plenty of good examples of it, especially if, you know, you have someone who's weaker individually. A lot of the time, they will go ahead and maybe get in on the entry. And if they die, they make space for someone, they set themselves up, and then they can see everybody in the post plant because they're already dead. I mean, in CS, there's plenty of examples of that. In Valorant, duelists are meant to get kills. They have abilities to get kills, so I'm not really as much of a fan of it, actually. But if it works for all gamers, then it works.
Kira on that raise is going to be my player to watch. Fengir's going to go over to the Jet. On the other side, we have a Jet in the hands of Autumn, and Udutan is going to be rocking the raise. Whose comp are we liking more? Is the difference is really just the sky, right?
Yeah, I think here I like to see the Fade a lot more. Patman on the Fade, sorry, he's been really good. But I do want to talk about Shrimp on the Sky, because actually something fun that they like to do on this map is they do tend to do a lot of 4-1s on their attack side, and they actually leave Shrimp to be that one. They leave that initiator alone, the Sky, getting all that information, putting pressure with the dog, with those flashes. And a lot of the time, he also has these really good catches on the rotators as well. So for me, I'm still looking at the Fade. I think just as a character, a lot stronger. No flashes, though, on the side of GE.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it can work to have your Sky on the lurk and apply pressure, but if the other team is prepared for you, then it's something that can really backfire. You can be very readable if you base your entire attacking side around Initiator Util. I like the Sky, though, better, honestly, in this comp with the raised Jet. I think there's plenty of examples, particularly in Pacific, where the burstiness you have of a Guiding Light rather than a Prowler that takes about 10 business days to get into the site is actually, you know, a little bit better in a lot of examples, but only if you're fast enough to play around it well.
Taking a look at our rosters, this could be the final game for Global Esports. On the other side, AGAL is looking for a rematch against Heretics potentially, or a new fight against MIBR. This will also be an additional $25,000 if you win this game for AGAL, as they'll be guaranteed at least 9 through 12. A big game for both of these squads, and we are just moments away from jumping in. Pilsky, if you are just tuning in to Valorant for the first time, you've been working all weekend. What did they miss, and what are you about to see?
You miss Global Esports maybe not having the best start to their group, kind of getting battered around a bit by an MIBR that are actually playing over in the A stream and have lost their first map here at EWC. For AG, I think it's quite the opposite. They had a game that was well and truly winnable for them, and now they're looking for recovery here, and they've already picked up the first map. So let's see if they can try to capitalize on that and win this series on one of their most comfortable maps here.
And now jumping into their comfortable map, just like you said, AG, they're starting on that attack side. They've been really good and making sure they're setting themselves up for success. Lots of 4-1s when they do get to those gun rounds. But for this pistol, they're starting with some sort of mid-default, that dark cover going in, the flash, the paranoia coming back out. Baiting that out from the Omen is insane, but you've spent those nades to get that.
Good stuff. AG baiting out a little bit of the mid-trap there. Now GE will have to reset a little bit as this round drags on. AG, very similar to what we saw on Sunset. It is a very slow attacking side here. Trailblazer goes into the A site once again, causing a little bit of pressure. Fangir gets caught there by the C's, but Autumn, this is an excellent timing indeed. Two players not even looking at him. Spike dropped, and he's not going to need to hang around for too much longer. All gamers now throwing caution to the wind. Kira straight through the middle of the map, picks up Udotan, and they're looking to pick up the pace into the B site. They're very well aware that Autumn is still inside a B main, and that's something that they're going to kind of deal with later. Kick that can down the road, so to speak. Good timing for Patman to give GE the man advantage, and this is looking a little too messy here for an All Gamers who, for the second time, have got caught off. Harvey from Sewers does get an additional pick. Autumn finally cleaned up, though. Fangir could be the difference maker here.
2v2, the players are trying to keep that site. They know there's a player in heaven, though, constantly spotting for it. I say that, but they didn't actually see him. Patman now has that haunt. It goes online. These players...
Cassian.
This
Oh,
crossfire,
2v2.
they have to force themselves out here. Patman and
Crystal
Crystal.
मार, Batman
trying
मार,
to
दो
scale.
मारेंगे, easy.
That's
बोला भाई,
up,
Crystal
but it
मारेगा.
actually goes well. Crystal getting
मार.
the pick on Takira.
Oh.
Fangir with 3, but Crystal
Easy भाई.
cleaning that up.
Yeah, All Gamers still keeping it very, very close, though. That is the third pistol this series for GE. It's not something
round.
they've
Good start.
been having trouble winning. But getting the map wins, on the other hand, so far, not so easy to come
Depending
by.
है भाई, निकालो.
Pistols have been good. I think the proactivity so good. Again, we've seen Autumn be aggressive. Last map on the Phoenix, and now here with the Jet, he's taken so many really well-timed positions. And for All Gamers, I'm questioning. They just need to be a little bit more aware of the gaps in their attack. But now, 4 players towards this B main. Fast take, trying to get that pressure down. Javi, he's alone on this site, but Patman from heaven trying to help Fangir the peek onto Javi. And now Udo somehow getting by on the other side of the map. Fangir getting the trade onto Patman. 3v3 here. 4v3, sorry. Here a setup for this post plant.
Nice open plant there. Trailblazer into spawn side. All Gamers will follow it on in. Crystal under some pressure. Drops the snake bite to push All Gamers away. Vulnerable is GRQ, and Crystal's taken some damage, but been able to clean that one up. Autumn, 1 bullet left in the Outlaw here. It's a tentative 3-on-3. You do not want to get ecoed as GE, and it's looking more and more likely as we go deeper into this round. Autumn caught off guard as well, and Fangir, a cracker of a double entry to swing on from Shrimp, gives All Gamers the eco win. That is crushing for GE.
Fangir with a beautiful entry, just holding W and getting across into sight, punishing Javi for having a weird position. I mean, he put that dart cover down after that paranoia towards B main, but still was unable to hold. He just stood out back sight, switching from his util to his weapon, and got caught off guard. The timing here, you see that? So hard to deal with.
I mean, they just weren't ready for someone to be that confident.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're expecting people to take the normal timings, and Old Mate is very much licking the snap and sending it. And this game indeed has gone completely postal for GE. Fangir now as the Outlaw active. He's got some help here. GE applying some pressure.
Holy.
Yeah, a little over-enthusiastic. A little excitable. But quickly quietened by an AG, who are yet again playing a pretty slow one on this anti-eco attacking side.
I guess you could say Autumn has now fallen. Get it?
Yeah,
Autumn.
he's leaving the server, some would say. Shrimp, he is, look, on that spray, looking like a shell of his former self, you might say. Kira's also caught one. I don't want to have anything for him. And it's looking pretty good for All Gamers, quite honestly. Walking straight into an open A site. Shrimp has only lost his armor, and that's pretty much all the damage that's been done by GE here.
Yeah, just playing it slow, knowing that GE is going to do something maybe a little bit desperate.
Shadows traveling.
Shutting that down. But again, man, that second round was insane from All Gamers. I really like the speed up, the change of pacing. Those are the kinds of rounds that I really like to see.
Well, that's the thing about All Gamers, is just like, at least at the start of the year, they run through VCTCN.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Kira's sending it, as most people are. Was dominated by Fangir in some of the games. Like, he's the memorable player for me. Speaking of which, that's one to forget. A little bit of damage being done here by Harvey, who's being a nuisance on spawn side. All Gamer no longer really interested in trying to hunt him down, although Shrimp wouldn't mind an extra one towards the Seekers. I don't think that's going to be happening. But yeah, I've been really surprised with how well-rounded all gamers are, to be honest, because I only really remember, you know, watching a few of all gamers games, quite honestly, and they were big games from Fangear, and I was thinking, yeah, this is just yet another import coming into VCTCN and hard carrying one of the teams. But it's quite the opposite, you know, watching them play here. I'm very impressed with what I'm seeing. Yes, Fangear is unreal, and that second round is a perfect example of why, but they've got plenty of substance to back that up.
Yeah, I think they've done such a good job as well at adapting, making sure they're fixing a lot of their issues. Fixing the fundamental mistakes that they did make when they were playing in that stage 1 in VCT. But now a super quick round here, that rocket online. Kira and Fangear pushing all the way into B Heaven, trying to find one. Beautiful paranoia behind, what? Oh my god, I can't speak by Javi, but he gets punished with the rocket.
Autumn under pressure now in the back of the site. Kira has found Crystal in the meantime. Udatan fighting hard from Heaven side, hand in hand with Patman. It's a 2-on-3 here. Spike has been dropped. Bai is up close in a pretty cheeky position, ready to swing out off the contact. GRQ in with the backstab, and that's what I was talking about. Perfect timing from Bai as soon as Patman makes contact with his teammate, and that is a round for all gamers.
God, I really like this speed up, the change of pacing, and they've kept GE on their toes now. They have no idea how they're going to play this next round. And it's so nice to see. I really like this duo too, the duelist duo of Kira and Fangear. They're so good at keeping up the space together. The util there as well to follow up.
That showstopper is perfection. I mean, it just shows how confident your Raze player is, because yes, okay, you're shooting where the paranoia is coming from, but it's a multi-layered thing. Not only does he shoot his showstopper, but he also saves his own life because the momentum of the ult puts him into a safer position until the paranoia elapses. So it's kind of just a win-win. And that's kind of the difference between just playing Raze and looking like a bit of an idiot fumbling your satchels and really being one of the better Raze players in the world.
Thrifty here on the side of Global Esports. They have that rocket online, but not really using to expend it. Instead, a triple setup towards this B main. The paranoia is going to come in, but a little bit too late because Fangear, he's already made his way completely out of danger. These 4 players now leaving one.
Yeah. Leave the Outlaw over on the extremity. Continue to apply pressure and keep GE honest. They're just going to throw out a dark cover, and you know, they put a band-aid over there, a little bit of tape, and they've said, don't worry about B. That's totally fine. AG also not worried about B. Straight into the A site yet again here. This is looking like a bit of a trend in the mid-round against the anti-ecos. I'd love a late round stack from GE, maybe later on in the half if they end up on another one.
Set up for a nice post plant here. They're aware that Heaven is open. Fangear, he's going to hear all that noise actually from spawn. But the crossfire here. So much util being used. They're re-clearing this A main. Fangear's pulling far enough. He gets picked off right away. That's just an outlaw, though. 4 players still set up really nicely on site. They don't really have an exit strategy just yet. Kira able to get the pick off on Udotan. Another pick from GRQ. They're just playing their exits now on the side of GE.
That's the outlaw from Harvey. Bandit not as effective, and AG exiting the site here. Over towards Heaven side. Peek out here. Shrimp.
Nice.
He already has his ultimate, and actually Kira is the player you would want picking up that pick because he needs to build himself up another showstopper.
Yeah, 2 so early on in this half would be insane. I think he's like 3 away. But now, 2 weapons saved for the side of all gamers. They did drop 3, a little bit expensive, but they're going to be fine. They're going to be able to buy that next round. And an all-gun round here online for this next round. The last time, all gamers, they just sent it, full sent it. They had so much stuff to go with it, the util, the ults. But they have to deal with this operator. Both sides, Autumn, taking towards B main. Getting flashed off the line. Javi is deposited, though. He's going to get the pick onto Kira, TPing out. That's a really nice numbers game here for Global Esports.
That's a little bit more like it from Javi. He can be an impactful player even after a quiet first map. It's Global Esports, the player advantage here. Swing out from Patman in the 5-on-4 is probably not what you would be looking for, but he is always looking to be confident and try to take over the game, advantage or not. There's the pick from Fangear.
Wow.
Despite the great start for Global Esports, in the mid-round, they are being punished for pushing the issue a little bit too much.
Overextending. Patman there pushing through. You can't blame Crystal. Just holding an angle, being unaware that the op is about to peek him. And the Seekers going out, that's going to be a lot of information. They know that there's a player towards this site. Only one of them went towards the A site, and they're collapsing here. The Omen ult to go on site. The rocket coming in. Udo punishes. Bye. Gets that trade. Javi left in elbow, using the paranoia, trying to scramble, trying to get one finger off, and he's blind, but GRQ with the trade. 2v1 on him with an op.
Op से क्या करेगा? मिलेगा, पिक मिलेगा.
Mistake
Yeah,
there
let's
from
go.
Bai. That's a freebie, but position confirmed now. This is not an easy 1v1 for the operator. GRQ inside of the dark cover. Creeping around the side. This is patience from Autumn, scoped in now, but GRQ is a little quicker. And that is around GE, very much needed. It started well for them, but denied by all gamers who move up 5-1.
That was such a nice round. So close from both sides too. Global Esports, though, once again falling into this punishment on their defensive side where they give all gamers numbers. Constantly peeking. This first kill was really nice. Javi getting that pick, falling back. They had the numbers. Everything made a lot of sense for them.
अगर TP नहीं मारता तो Omen ही dead था.
Really well done too to speed up, make sure they're using those picks. The knives actually popped though for Autumn towards mid.
Nice pick on Department. Going down early in the piece yet again here. He's maybe spent too much time with Paper X, and if this keeps going the same direction, he's going to be spending some more time with them. Autumn, that's a nice double up. Could be the difference maker here. Instant reply from Fangir. Paranoia pushes them away from the spike, but GRQ will get his hands on it nonetheless.
Easy.
Better. Doesn't seem like all gamers are cognizant of the fact that he is in that corner, but
Bye मारेगा.
it's a little bit of an awkward situation. Udo, how is your trigger discipline here, my friend? It's looking pretty
nice
good
one, भाई. Let's go.
Now Spike dropped in the middle
भाई
of the
क्या
map.
बेटा था वो सोच. Omen पहले मार देता, वो dead था उधर. वो एक और kill नहीं मिलता.
And I'm sure all gamers
इसको pick मत करो, ये वैसे ही low है.
with
Off
the
गिरा
thrown
दी.
away should have no
Off गिरा
business
दी.
winning this round. Fangir's been magical so far.
अरे बाप
Place
रे.
hands on a sheriff.
मतलब बंदा भी like ना off तो नहीं दे रहा भाई मैं. मेरे को मार दो. Round क्या चलेगा?
Let slip through their fingers. Orbs up. There's just no way in hell.
Yeah, they're split up though. Kind of scary. Crystal playing that close angle. Fangir is going to hear that snake bite coming in from close. Falling a bit back now. Playing it a little bit safer as the time runs out. Fangir probably could have saved that operator. But it doesn't matter. As long as it doesn't get into the hands of GE, they're still able to buy that next round. Spots Crystal, unable to get it. And a thrifty from GE. Autumn.
Crazy way.
Yeah, really nice stuff. Bit of a mid-walk GE.
Overtime
taking a
निकाला
risk.
भी.
And,
अभी पर crossing कैसे हुआ वहाँ?
going
पहुँच
down to
गया
the operator, which
ये
continues to
trigger
give
discipline.
GE some problems.
देखा रुको एक और आ रहा है क्या? नहीं आ रहा. फेंको दिखा.
Position on Udotan here to be a bit of a difference
signal जाएंगे
maker.
easy.
We'll get a timeout
Like
now.
expect भी नहीं किया रहेगा
Things
भाई.
to be
बोले अरे ये यहाँ
discussed a
कैसे
little
बैठा
bit
है?
more.
तो था भाई, कुछ तो था.
Timeout actually coming in from the side of all gamers. After that round, they're going to be really irritated, wondering what went wrong, but obviously just not clearing those close angles after getting initially those picks. Autumn obviously pushing all the way down. That confidence. It's nice to see GE still having it. Yes, it was a thrifty. Yes, they usually like to go for something somewhat aggressive, but still the confidence is there to bring it back into this map. And I think that's really nice to see when you're low.
Yeah, well, a pistol round and a win on a thrifty does not half make, though. You're going to have to see some substance on the gun rounds here sooner rather than later for Global Esports. It's not like they haven't been given a couple of opportunities and a couple of picks in some of these rounds, but as we've kind of mentioned, this is very comfortable territory for an all-gamers who have already won the first map. And so far, this attacking side has been pretty faultless, but this could be a big opportunity for GE. Money is finally looking a little weaker, and if GE, after flipping the economy a little bit with those pistols, can win this round and capitalize, this could really change up the trajectory of this game. Same setup we've seen from GE before. Harvey TPing into the corner, but all gamers are not interested.
Op setup on that B line, though. Lots of good information. They're going to keep walking up. Might just catch off GRQ here. He's holding, though. He's aware there might be something aggressive going on. Peek's about to come in. Autumn
Nice one, nice peek.
picking off GRQ, and now they have the numbers advantage here. GE, they
Penguin
just
इधर भी
need
है,
to keep
अबे
it
वाह।
clean. Make sure they're not
और
getting
Viper
picked
pick
off. But
करेगा नहीं।
Fangir, he's trying to find one with the op. Not going to
सही
give
है।
it to him though,
और
because this
Paytm
player's
तो
playing
ठीक
on
है,
site
ठीक है
on
ले लो।
Crystal.
Yeah, smokes are down here for all gamers, so that's a bit troublesome.
Right.
What I can say, though, is if Bai can get onto that site and actually earn himself the pit, put it down, then that might just remedy the situation. It's a contact approach here for an all gamers who were initially letting the operator lead the way, but now they're grouping up towards a ramp. GE quite happy to play the numbers. They've got the Nightfall to lean on in the retake.
Retake could be
Oh,
online.
5 HP,
Pamela
5 HP,
playing
5
that
HP,
spawn.
5 HP,
We have
buddy.
3 players already over here. Cured though, trying to go for something aggressive.
Nice
Fangir
one.
gets punished through
कुछ
that
तो
orb
गलत हुआ
by
उसके साथ।
Pam and Crystal on site. Bai gets one. Crystal gets
Nice,
another.
Crystal.
Javi,
हो गया।
the pit actually spent.
मार easy।
And now, pushing
अरे,
towards it. Kira with
5
2.
HP, buddy।
5 HP left. 2v1 though.
नहीं
16
बचेगा।
seconds on the clock. He has the rocket online, trying to go for one. Udo not going to give it to him. The
Dick,
flank
yeah.
from Autumn, going to catch him off guard. The spike might be able to be planted, but it's not looking too good. 5 HP and Autumn
Nice one.
gets that kill.
It's a big round for GE to
Obvious,
win.
easy.
Money not great on the side of all gamers, but I don't think that the going gets any easier for a GE who only get through this round with 2 weapons. One of them will be the operator. My big concern lies in the fact that all gamers have a lot of ultimates coming into this next one. Bladestorm, Showstopper, and a Viper. It's a round that, a Viper roll rather. It's a round that really kind of plays itself sometimes. Open up with the rocket and then put the pit down. And Bob's your uncle.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, this is more of the playstyle that I like to see from GE. Getting aggressive in that first early round.
What a pit. Honestly, we saw the greatest Viper utility in that round. The snake bite from the defense went into Narnia. And then the pit just goes nowhere.
I know. That's why I heard the voice line. I'm like, there's no way that was spent there. But a fast start here for all gamers. 5 stacked towards this B. They're trying to punish any push. They realize the op isn't here and full sent it into an execute on site. Javi, Patman, really nice crossfire.
Oh, nice रे मार के क्या पर वो
spent shrimp trading.
अरे नहीं 2v2
Getting that pick onto Udo. 2v2.
I know
Crystal
Crystal मारेगा Crystal
may have
तेरी है
overcooked a little bit, but with both of the players in some pretty good positions,
No!
then they could definitely pick up the piece.
Oh, डर गया भाई 1
Pieces,
second
rather.
में
And there you go.
Nice
Crystal will do
one.
exactly that. From the backside of the pillar, very steady there.
लगा
He had
टाइमिंग हो
order
गया
to
इसके
back
साथ
him in
गंदी
from
वाली
heaven's
वो
side,
साइड
and
देगा
all
लेगा ना
gamers trying to be a little bit
एकदम से
dangerous.
respect ये ऑब्जर्वर
Chucking
जो
a
भी था
couple of ults
स्विच
on
किया लॉल
into that one, but not walking away with the round.
GE all of a sudden online, understanding how they want to play their defensive side. They've been snowballing these rounds now. And it's looking really nice. I'm really enjoying the way that they're playing this. And of course, by delaying for so long on site, doing a good job. Him and Javi and Patman crossfiring on B. It's just made so much sense. And now they're setting up Autumn for success towards that A main. But the players and all gamers, rough by, just the Guardian, 2 stingers.
Yeah, tried to force into that last one. Autumn's got on this deep A info line. Crystal trying to zone all gamers away. GE well and truly aware that they're in the middle of the map. He goes to Cloudburst. It's actually a fake dash in from Fangir, and then his Cloudburst I thought was going to be used against him.
Batman
Activating in from ropes, and it's a huge crunch there from GE. Great reaction.
What a beautiful collapse. So quick to make sure that these players don't get all that
क्या
space
हुआ भाई
towards
ये देखना
heaven.
पड़ेगा
And
रुक
Javi just sitting on site, aware.
Huge is there.
ये लोग मिड है ठीक है मिड है
all
लोग
gamers away. GE well and truly aware that they're in the middle of the map. In goes the
Okay.
Cloudburst. It's actually
उसपे
a fake
push
dash
हुआ
in from Fangir, and then
Vents
his
से घुस
Cloudburst
गए,
I
Vents
thought
ने
was
छोड़
gonna be
दिया।
used against him. Patman activating
Nice
in
one
from ropes,
और
and it's a
वापस
huge crunch there from GE. Great
नहीं
reaction.
मारेगा
What a beautiful collapse. So quick to
खत्म
make
कर
sure
दिया
that
भाई
these
इनका
players
तो
don't get
ऑडिशन
all
था
that space towards
It could kind of be a weird situation. Like, you think regionally playing against a team
अरे
that you haven't
वो
really
तो मर
played
गया
before,
और
the veto can get a little bit weird sometimes. But I
Pretty
think both of
great.
these teams kind of ended up with maps that they were quite comfortable on. All gamers for sure knew their way around Sunset despite not playing it in a while. And like I said, I mean, credit to all gamers for backing themselves. You're going to be confident on one of your best maps. But like I said, GE have been playing this map since, every iteration of this current roster,
कोई नहीं है
going
भाई
back to the start of last year, has loved this map.
मिड
Autumn
again.
मिलेगा
on
फ्री
this
करने
deep
का
A info line.
Oh.
Has a
अब
little
आ गया
bit of
वो
a greeting with Bai there, but it's not for too long.
मिड
Flash into B heaven, pushing Crystal off the angle, but Still, that operator from Autumn going to push all the way up, but these 4 players from
Autumn,
All Gamers are
Autumn
falling
dead.
back. They're trying
Autumn
to
dead.
crunch onto him. The jump
Yep,
peak
dead,
not going
dead,
to be
dead,
able to
dead,
get
dead.
him, and Autumn being pushed
Yo,
back. That
fuck
rope is
yeah.
going to be heard. The satchels, the follow-up.
Oh!
Hero able to get the pick.
क्या बचा?
Beautiful support onto his duelist, and now
भाई
the
मस्त टाइम पे है
opening,
सपोर्ट
it's
के लिए.
gone. Fangir trying to get into A-Heaven, trying to get anything, but
Rotated
they're not
gameplay,
going to give
bro.
it to him.
Yeah, it's going nowhere fast. Just a sliver of a timing there for all
अगर
gamers,
Paytm
but
नहीं हो,
Patman
dead
says,
था भाई
please
ये
come into my
Autumn.
loving arms. I've got you, bro. Alfangle from
Nice one,
Crystal
nice
is
one.
phenomenal.
चलो.
All over that one
Five
after
three, yeah,
a bit of a
easy.
mess in a similar position.
W
And
से
Patman,
वही.
he has read this to a T.
अरे.
Easy one onto Fangir. And all gamers stuck up inside of B Heaven. Harvey from a nice off angle
अरे
there.
nice.
Takes a chunk out of Shrimp,
Pistol मार देगा.
who has got nothing really left to work
Paytm
with.
आया.
Can't heal himself.
Paytm.
He's heard the rope. And Patman will swing him regardless there.
Nice.
Not necessary, but he's here to send a message, as he often is. Patman is the epitome of confidence, and I think that's the perfect example of it.
Dead
He's
भाई.
been playing
कुछ तो देखने मिल
phenomenal.
रहा है.
I think one, the power of friendship,
Double
holding your
save.
friend's hand as they're trying to run away.
See, that's what he learnt in Paper
Yes.
X.
Yes.
They always say that,
True.
you know? And then some things happened. I won't get into it.
ये रेस क्या पीछे पीछे है उसके.
Kira
बाप रे.
trying to follow up. I
Get it
really
dead
like the
था वो.
confidence from Kira.
Cover
He's
तो था
trying
मस्त
to
वाला.
satchel and chase. I think that was a good call, but they just
Good
weren't
one.
ready, and the Viper wall didn't go up in time either. And now, gun round once again. Last round of this half, trying to get it online. 5 rounds is pretty good for your attack side, but you definitely want to try to get that one more. Just the Seekers and the Omen online for all gamers. But Udo, he has that rocket. Autumn, beautiful positioning down mid.
It's a
Fire.
cheeky off angle. And
Oh.
Autumn has seen one of those before back home for sure. Not too worrisome for him. And a little
Oh,
dig
ding.
from Patman. On to Fangir, who was trying to walk
Pata.
out. He made here with Pi. They both been caught by the seas. You can't blame
Orre.
Patman for trying to capitalize, but that's where Fangir will
Thank
rip
you.
the map wide open. It's not really super clear about how AG are going to put the pieces together here, but that is exactly it. Spike passed over to GRQ, and he's going to TP over towards A. Seeker's coming out as well here. AG very much trying to feel this one out.
Getting that spike down, but the Seekers is going to catch
Arre.
Autumn by also
Andy.
turning around, looking at the right time. Udo going with that rocket.
Nice.
Gonna
Whoa.
pick off Shrimp. That's a big pick. 4v3 now, but Kira is all the
nice.
way on an island
Fire.
towards mid. A late flank. He has to speed up because these players, they're
Get it,
starting
get it,
their
get it.
retake elbow.
Yeah.
Paranoia coming out. Fangir with a pick. All of a sudden, the trades are down for all gamers. And a really nice
कोई ना.
crossfire onto
Six
site.
good off.
Yeah, for sure. I think some great off angles being played there by all gamers, and a great paranoia timing out of elbow. Gave GE too much to deal with, despite being a little bit disjointed. Very impressive at how quickly they put that round together. That was 2 players caught by a C's in A main. You get a pick on the A side of the map. The rest of the team are in completely different postcodes. But passing that spike over to the Omen, who has the ult available, really helped them streamline and put that together. Similar to
ये भी इतना
Sunset, there
pressure
really
नहीं है
is not
क्योंकि
too much separating these
जीत
two
गए ना.
teams as we head into the second half.
Yeah, all
जीप
gamers
है
really
भाई
good at
pressure.
punishing
ये हारे तो
the second
Jeez,
that
yeah,
they
भाई.
get that first pick. It's
Out
been
by
really
EWC
nice to
से
see
तो.
Patman obviously exuding confidence, maybe a little bit too much in that last round, going for that 1v1.
Yep.
The C's was there, but still, it's risky, especially when you know that you have no players around you to support.
Yeah, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. And
Oh.
I think for Patman, that kind of experience is not really going to sway him too much. He's just going to keep doing what he always does.
I think it makes sense, though, because if he doesn't do that, that one round where he got that 3K, supported Autumn on his fallback, I think it makes a lot of sense. But now, this is going to be where
Yeah,
it
बढ़िया था.
shows
VALORANT का
which
play
team
बहुत
has
good थे.
done their homework, which team has done a lot with their preparation, because 6-6 pistols going to be super important. Global Esports, they've been really successful with their pistols. They lost that second round earlier in this game. And whoever wants to get ahead and just start to snowball for the second half, it's going to be so important.
Yeah, for all gamers, would love to just close out this series that has been pretty strugglesome for them so far. Sunset was not a slam dunk by any stretch of the imagination, and Split is heading in much the same direction. Good representation across some of the other games here at EWC. The Crossfire team's pretty good. That's what I've been told a few times.
Yeah.
Can't say I've ever watched a game of Crossfire before, but that's what I heard on the grapevine.
I'm really looking at all gamers here because I hyped them up a little bit too much, I think, the beginning of this matchup. They've won this map every single time they've played it in the qualifiers, and so far, the 6-6 scoreline, it's not convincing me, just showing me that these teams are really neck to neck.
That's what I was saying.
I wasn't convinced, but hey,
There wasn't
global
much to be
esports.
convinced by, to
True.
be fair.
Better
Um,
control. Easy hai.
GE now on the
B
attacking
push karo,
side.
B push karo.
Straight up the guts. Thank
Yep.
you, not the player that
Yep.
you want to be seeing on the other side
What
of
is
that
an
one. He's
Aurelio?
going to join up with GRQ on this B site, and they'll just play retake
Oh,
here. All of
retake.
all gamers have very quickly mobilized. They're going to retake B heaven control and make this a little bit easier to digest here if possible. Satchel out. They want to clear middle.
ठीक है, mid कोई नहीं
Haven't
है.
put that spike down. Nice right click from Harvey to start things
Oh.
off. Guy with the quick entry. But GE
Nice. निकाल ले,
are
निकाल ले.
starting to punish some of this flood from AG. Spike hasn't even gone down yet. Patman finally putting that down as GE have got themselves a man advantage.
The healing up his team. 3 players though. 2 of them going towards heaven. The smash through the smoke onto Javi. That's going to be annoying. Udo is right below this rope. They're looking to drop with those nades. The flash finally online for Shrimp. Uses it. Drops. Spots. Udo unable to get anything. Fangir with 3. Kira with a beautiful shot onto Crystal. And all of a sudden this round has flipped on its head.
Oh, just a
क्या
little
हुआ?
took there from
समझ
all
नहीं आया.
gamers, really. Udatan under the rope, needed to at least take one with him and make all gamers' life a little bit more difficult from that. All coming from the same angle. But Fangir has yet again, in a pistol round, done something illegal. 3K from him, that spam kill onto Harvey. Honestly, just brings tears to your eyes. You're hoping for a third map.
Oh, that was like the last bullet too. He's just spamming and just the bullet as he's turning away gets the kill.
It's rough. All gamers will be happy with it, though. Starting off this defensive side in a good position. The first pistol they've been able to glean for themselves in this game so far.
Lots of noise towards this B main here. The orb getting tapped. GRQ taking a nice bit of damage, though. Down to 72.
GE making themselves look really scary in B. Just applying a little bit of pressure to unsettle all gamers before they go link up with Crystal, who has been chilling with his feet on the coffee table outside of A. Couple of players here for all gamers. They're just running the orb so far, really trying to min-max that showstopper as quickly as possible. Wall does get dropped, but Harvey is very much on his own there, and the rest of all gamers have arrived to the party, and it's a great time so far. GE not really getting too much done until you get a little bit of messiness from Shrimp, but 1 kill is not really going to trouble all gamers too much. You're happy with that anti-eco.
Yeah, you just want to make sure that next time for GE on that execute, nobody's just going out alone. That's a little scary for Javi. Getting out of that smoke, no one able to follow up. The explosion wasn't really there for them. Pop play through that smoke just wasn't there either. I think now I'm looking at all gamers, this bonus round. They've been somewhat aggressive before when they've played this. Have a good idea, good plans going into it. The full gun buy from GE. There are 4 players outside of this A, playing really passive, holding.
Now just similar scenes as Vernal.
दूसरा ये
It's a
क्या हो
spawn.
गया बीच में? तब
Getting
क्या
picked
बताओ?
off in Autumn. I really like that GE aren't scared to take the rest of that space. Full sight now, getting that spike down. 4 players still in mid from all gamers. It's going to take a while for them to come back to it.
Yeah.
Can't really feel for buy there. I mean, he walks into
Well, side,
traffic.
yeah.
The red man was very much present. So, bit of natural
Arey.
selection, unfortunately.
Wait कर. Easy kill.
As all
Easy
gamers
break kill.
organize themselves for a little bit of a flank.
Aye,
Harvey,
aye,
who
aye,
was
wait,
trying to apply some pressure to middle
Well,
of the
line
middle of
देगा
them earlier on in the round. Will get hit by the guiding light. Gonna reply with a paranoia, but that doesn't really unsettle all gamers too much. Crystal putting up the wall, zoning with the snake bite. Trailblazer and paranoia will push him back. Patman, they're aware of him in the corner here. They're going to try to push him out. Guiding Light and Paint Shells to follow up. All gamers are scaling in pretty nicely here, but the rest of GE pushing straight through that dark cover on A main. And Fangir, I couldn't even tell you what he was looking at there, quite honestly. He's going to go down to the spike, and GE anti-bonus converted, but not without some losses.
2 guns down. Not going to be too harsh on them. Still going to be able to full buy for that next round. And now GE going to be a little bit happier. Trying to understand how they want to play this map. That 4-1 tends to work for them. Maybe we're going to see a little bit more mid control here. Trying to bait out that Sky Util. I just really like the way that All Gamers has been playing well together. The operator online for Fangir as well. He's been doing absolutely phenomenally this whole game. 18 and 11. The first peak, though, going to be towards that B. He's not going to do anything way too aggressive, just holding passively. And for GE, using that Prowler, getting information, but falling back towards that mid.
I mean, this has just been their MO, really. Little bit of pressure in the early round. See if AG do kind of react with anything. You were kind of pointing out some of the aggressive tendencies from All Gamers at the best of times, and I think GE are kind of well aware of that. Both of these teams have been playing pretty slow on attack so far in this series, and once again, it's another 1-4 here for GE, but they might walk straight into the operator.
All Gamers slow? Did we not watch the same half?
Okay, yeah, true. The first half, they were pretty good. Some of the rounds, they were slow, though.
Fangir, though, he's about to spot out these players. He's going to hear that raise. Roomba, beautiful flick onto Autumn, and now these players flooding into sight for All Gamers. Ready to get the pick. GRQ getting Udo10, shutting him down. This execute absolutely decimated. The spike has been dropped. Crystal on the other side of the map getting a pick towards mid. Re-aggressing here, retaking, almost got the pick through the smoke, and Crystal all of a sudden left in a 1v4.
30 seconds
Yeah,
left.
unfortunate. I mean, he was the A lurker earlier on, and they wanted to set him up for a bit of a lurk play in the mid-round, but there was no mid-round. AG passing the test nicely there. They'll go through this round with 4 guns up. GE, I don't know if their economy can really handle this here. 2 players are looking pretty poor.
Left.
I'll have to ask some of the other boys to help them out, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like what we've seen from them, though, is really good orb farming. And Udo, one-off rocket. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to get it on him. Try to do some sort of quick play off of that, or at least a pop execute. Try to get that round under their belts.
I don't think AG would be either. Be well aware that GE will want to be going for those. And this is just one of the best maps to kind of punish that kind of... I mean, he's just showing off at this point.
That shot was nasty.
Very something-esque. Is not too surprising given where Fangir comes from.
Oh my god. No high five is crazy. Ah, there it is. Saved.
No high five until the game is done.
This round, though, 2 rifles. The side of GE, their economy is a little bit rough. They will be able to buy next round, though. The op still online for Fangir. He has all of B main, but these players are going super fast towards B.
Yeah, a lot of bandits in tow here. Kira made a bit of a meal of that one, but good thing Fangir is chilling on the B site. B main is dirty, though, I would assume. And so, of course, Fangir will be a little bit concerned about that.
Reposition back to B main. Still so scared of this B heaven. This might be the read. AG might be able to get this pick here. That's going to be so much information, especially if they see this raise. Udo walking into this crosshair, but the pick, nothing. He gets a nice tag onto Crystal, 29 HP. The execute, they're going in.
It's a good pick from Autumn. Needed to check that corner. That could have been a bit of a disaster. A satchel from Udotan. Operator on the ground in towards sports side, but GE not overcooking this one. They've got a lot of good ults to work with now. Showstopper on Udotan. Crystal could get the pit down if necessary. Out comes the rocket. GRQ, not even sure if he saw him in the corner there. I don't know where that page shells is going, but Bai is under a lot of pressure. Down to Udotan, who has just cracked that round open for GE, and look at all the guns they picked up as a result. This is massive for the attackers.
Yeah, the winning condition for All Gamers there was just Fangir getting that shot off on B main. But also Kira playing so close, a little bit rough, especially when you know that they're on that low buy, instantly getting punished. Crazy round here from GE, but I really like the reads. definitely scary coming back into that B main. They knew the op was set up somewhere,
भाई
but a nice gamble.
ये सब इधर ही हो
especially 'cause
सकता है
they
लाइक
caught off
तुम
Kira.
हेवन
mean,
पे
that is
पहुंच
a
चुके हो
cooling
तुम
masterclass
साइड
from
ना
Javi.
जाके वापस मेन से आ गए डैम
They're
भाई
playing a
इजी
very
प्ले
similar comp themselves, and they know how to play around that B main operator.
छोड़ भी रखा था उन लोगों ने भाई
Something that
मतलब मेन
has been piloted
इनसे ही कुछ है
many,
बाप
many
रे
moons
क्या ही
ago by
डोमिनेट कर दिया ये तो
PTX. Patman knows his way around this comp. They know the theory and how to deal with it, and I
तो
think that's a
है
perfect example of them just really utilizing all of the strengths of the comp that AG are trying to employ and using it against them there.
And a timeout now coming in from the side of all gamers. They're obviously going to be upset with that one. Feels a little bit like deja vu from that last map, pausing after getting thrifty.
That's a round that loses you the game.
True. And now they've usually had a good result off of these timeouts, just knowing what they have to clean up. But GE, the confidence. I love that they're still so confident no matter what they're doing. They were down, but it didn't matter. If I'm all gamers, though, I'm not sweating too hard. I feel like their general macro on the defensive side has been working really well for them. Again, just whiffing a
क्या
couple
था
shots,
इसके
but also
पे
playing a little bit too
कुछ भी तो नहीं
close.
है
They didn't have time to re-clear that B heaven once they did take it with their thrifty. So it's just an unknown place for them. The rotates just weren't correct. The positioning just wasn't there in time. Now we're going to see a low buy from the side of all gamers.
Yeah, a bit of a mixed bag. Trying to min-max the money to go a little bit deeper into this game. It's still got plenty of legs in it. GE, great economy. And we were talking about how many rifles they picked up in just that round previous. 4 stack over here towards B early on. Autumn dodges the boom bot nicely. And there's no Sky there for GE, so he won't be able to get healed up as we go deeper into this round. You can see GE on the other side of things. They were looking to really punish aggression on the extremities, and this is a classic Patman move on an anti-eco, just walking straight through the middle of the map.
That dog might be able to spot him out, though. Sees him in ropes. Fangir getting the pick onto Patman, and again, the punish.
Yeah.
But these players, they're zooming into the safe
Okay,
side, trying to
मिल
get
गया
it.
पूरा
He is straight up not having a good time, bruv.
right
Crystal
buddy
gonna
okay
put the
all
pick down. They're really trying to dig their heels in. Autumn is cripplingly low from earlier, and that's an operator going down. Showstopper going into the side. GE.
oh nice
This is
there
a
we go
pretty big fumble after a massive thrifty in just the round previous. AG take a timeout and respond with one of their own.
Beautiful timeout call. Going all the way back, getting the read as well onto Patman. They've known and they've done their homework to see that his tendencies are to walk up mid. Getting that pick was beautiful. The re-clear shrimp, beautiful with the util as well.
I mean, I don't know, man. I just, it's illegal as someone from Pacific to question Patman because he's just so good. But yeah, some of the rounds this series, there's been some great ones. There's been some not so great ones, and that one was unfortunately more of the latter. All dealt with by Kira. GE do have a follow-up buy to this one. Autumn's found GRQ, but Kira able to safeguard ropes for the meantime. Oh my god, Patman has dodged the Trailblazer. That is perfection. Kira's found Harvey in the meanwhile. This is so disjointed from both sides, but Patman, a little bit unhappy with how that last round went, is starting to take this one over. Spike being picked up now by Crystal. As the Prowler hasn't cleared out by. That's
nice.
not the timing that Patman was looking for, and now we're into a 2-on-2.
Operator with knives
Do we
online
do?
for Fangir if he
हो
wants to
सकता
pop
है
those.
निकालो
The op and knives
दो सिटी है
fight potentially here because Autumn's also set up.
okay
A lot of delay. The orb. Making sure that spike gets planted and just holding this right side of heaven. They're going to be able to spot
Jet
each
diff,
other out.
jet
The
diff.
timing on
दे दो
these scopes.
right
Not seeing Jet's
right side
head.
guys
Autumn hearing those knives getting popped. A little bit
Ole
popping his.
knives versus
2v2.
अरे nice one
Punished by Crystal and Pi.
Oh!
Too much pressure there. GE
nice round
able to pick themselves up a
9-10 है बे
after
कंट्रो भी
a little bit of an
lead
upset
में
in the
चल रहा
round
कोई
previous. We, had
तो
some
चल रहा है यहाँ
messiness.
से
has
निकाल
to
दो
be
भाई जीत
said,
जाओ
but good recovery from GE.
You question Patman's timing. Look at that round.
That's what I'm saying. You
Look at that
can't question it. You
round.
can't question it because then he does this.
He dodged the dog through
And-
the
and-
smoke.
Could you ever tell him to stop? No.
एक शॉट लिया था फिर ये कर
There
दिया
is no
nice one
stopping.
I mean, he wins rounds like that. I would never tell him to stop. The op online, though, for Autumn, going for an A heaven pick this time.
Yep.
But Fangir is actually about to peek into it.
Oh, this could not be good news here for Autumn. Would be a cracker of a shot if he comes away with it, but that angle is far too favorable for Fangir. Yudatan also spotted outside of A. Throws out his paint
अरे उड़न
shells.
मरेगा.
He's seeing a lot of green on his screen, and I'm not talking about the new Shrek movie. Shrimp now finds himself a pick, but he doesn't even clock onto the fact that Harvey's just TP'd into the back of the site, which is not ideal at all. Now GE definitely have a chance in this round.
Using that smoke, that dark cover, tapping the spike, trying to find any numbers advantage, anyone giving them that peek. But of course, All Gamer is going to play with so much discipline. Autumn, going with that op. Spotting, not going to catch anyone off guard. Nice off angle here from Patman.
Yeah.
Op being swapped over to GRQ. They're going to kick this one off with the paranoia, and Kira will almost certainly dive into the site. Harvey can't see a thing, wants to play that close angle. He's been spotted out. The Cloudburst is maybe helping him a little bit, but not enough. Patman only able to come away with one, and that is perfection for All Gamers. Mana advantage, all the high percentage pieces of utility exactly where you'd want them, and as such, an easy retake. GE, I've got to be sweating now.
They got to figure out how to shut down Fangir, man. He's just been having such a good game, and he's won that op battle now 2 rounds in a row. Able to pick him off.
And a timeout for GE here. Feels like we're going into the dying hours of this series unless they can show some resilience. Being a very, very back and forth game indeed against an All Gamers who look like they're in pretty good form. Like, game against Heretics, I felt like I was seeing some good stuff for them. We've talked about how they've been pretty good in China so far. Great kickoff and just missing out there in stage 1.
For me,
go to another international.
For me, I'm really surprised with their map pool because All Gamers, they've kind of had a history of not having the deepest map pool, not the best at rounding out what they can play. But now we've seen their Sunset. We saw their Haven versus Team Heretics, which was one of those maps that we were really questioning a long time ago. And it's just so often now that we've seen their playbooks. They've done a really good job this off time when they did not qualify for Masters London. They managed to do a lot of really good work on their fundamentals, a lot of making sure they're studying and putting in the work to study and have these setups on these maps. And now 11-9. Kind of a weird buy, mixed buy here on the side of Global Esports. 2 rifles. It's looking a little rough.
Let's see what they can come up with. Quick one over towards the B side of the map. Fangir on the line, scouted, scanned out by the Haunt and pushed away by the utility. That's a decent entry on in there for GE with a 1-for-1 onto GRQ. Kira on the same line, spotted out there. The dark cover going to obscure his vision as Patman gets this spike down. Oh no, it's Miss Heaven. There is a bit of a gaping gap in the smokes there for GE. It's been thrown a little bit too quickly.
Oh, short miss कर दिया HP.
He's lucky to be alive. I gotta be honest here. Yudatan not seen by the boombot, but will be by the trailblazer as he tries to zone them away with the satchels. Still 4-4 here. AG really struggling to break through on this retake until Kira finds an entry. Great reply from Patman. That gives him the right call, and I don't think that AG can complete this retake now. Shrimp's the only player high on HP. That's a decent angle for him to take that pick, but still not good enough. One tap in reply for Patman, and Fangir will get an exit, but that's all he'll have access to. Double digits now for GE.
Fangir unable to get that first pick on B main once again. He struggled with that one angle throughout this game. And GE are really using that to their advantage, going really quick. I really want to see them do something similar, maybe on the A side with their gun buy, because it feels like every time they're on the Thrifty, they have a lot more confidence, or at least on the weird buy. And now going into this next round, I'm going to be interested to see what they change up here for All Gamers. Fangir, he's had success in A. He's had success towards mid. He's struggling a little bit just with that B main pick. When he falls back into sight, he manages to do a good job, but then the setup just falls apart. He's staying towards that B. They're worried they're going to do that again, but instead it's a really fast A split.
Kira opens it up well. Yudatan down early. Autumn looking to try to follow up on the fact that they've lost the opening pick, but Shrimp has got Kira covered. Healed up in the corner despite the fact that he's vulnerable for the snake bite, and it's just not comfortable enough. Autumn, I'm surprised he comes away with that one. The satchel was definitely making him uncomfortable. GRQ Smoked off for the time being. GE forced to slow this one down.
Slowing it down. Trying to see if there's any overextension here from the side of All Gamers. They're not going to give it to them, though. Fangir has full mid control. That Prowler is going to get Shrimp. Nothing too crazy. Falls. GRQ still has a Paranoia online. Patman really trying to get Shrimp to peek out of that corner. The re-clear, though, towards A Heaven is going to get delayed as Bai puts up his wall, uses that molly as well, the snake bite. So much time wasted here. All Gamers doing a good job of baiting.
They're well aware of where GE are. 30 seconds on the clock and you're going to go around the world to beat.
30 seconds.
I mean, they were just clearing out the flank, I guess. Both teams well
हाँ
aware
bro,
of each other's
जा
movements
सकते
here.
हो.
Shrimps
एक ही
tucked
एक
into the
सिटी
back of
आया.
the site.
देखो
Bai
देखो.
with the jump spot will
GG.
confirm GRQ. It's a little bit of a messy spray, but the Paranoia looks pretty good, and All Gamers peeking off the back of that. Series point for them.
2 राउंड निकालने इनको back to back.
Again,
भाई
these setups from
थोड़ा
All
hard है.
Gamers are so clean. I really like to see it off the back of those first initial peaks. I really like that they hear that satchel going fast towards A Heaven, and immediately the answer, the crossfire. Kira with that rocket, the setup as well with Shrimp, the healing through the snake bite, the satchel just to delay a little bit longer. No overextension here by Shrimp as well, enabling him to just delay for so long. Patman using all his utility to try to clear him out from sight, to try to bait some sort of peak, and it just didn't work. And now all of a sudden this last potential round, low buy, weird buy, forced buy from Global Esports.
Yeah, they're shoving their way through the middle of the map to meet up with Crystal. Yudutan is one off the showstopper, but he's lost Patman in the meantime. Straight through the snake bite. Rocket's out now, but he's been plucked from the air. What a shot
GG
from
भाई
Fangir.
20 भाई.
And he's
क्या
hungry
बोल
for
रहे हो?
more. Didn't hit that one onto Crystal. He's just sitting in the snake bite. But we'll choose to meet up with the rest of the boys. All Gamers on the brink of closing this one out unless you get something outrageous from Autumn and Crystal here for Global Esports. Heal coming through from Shrimp. Another warning shot from Fangir. GE just continuing to tap the spike, just praying for a mistake from All Gamers, but nothing's being given here. Autumn on the line.
चलो GG.
Dealt
Well
with
played
by
बना.
Fangir. All down
अच्छा
to
किल है,
Crystal in a
आपका सर्वर नहीं
1-on-4. He
सकता.
cannot see a thing.
Bye bye.
Needs to pick up the spike here. It's a high-low on one side and up on the other side. And it looks like he's walking in towards his death. All Gamers holding the line, chipping down at him. It's a nice double. 25 seconds now.
1v2
And Kira
ना वो
and
लोग पिक
Fangir
नहीं
gonna
देंगे.
give Crystal some
अरे
respect and
स्पाइक
some
प्लान
space
कर
to
दे,
work with. If
प्लान
he
कर
can get
दे.
the spike and
राइट
get the
राइट
plant
राइट
down,
राइट. हो सकता
then
है
he
उसको
will
बैठना है
actually
प्लान
have a
करके.
pit, and this is a very winnable 1-on-4. This could be
मिल
one
गया.
of the best ones you've seen in quite some
ओ
time. I
बे
cannot
इसने
believe
शॉट
that
लिया.
shot has
हो
connected
सकता
from
है.
Fangir. Jump spot in from Kira.
Nah.
It's another fake plant. He's just peppering away at him. He has to commit to the plant now, and Kira will go on in, try to cancel it, and he'll be successful. It's an anticlimactic end there for All Gamers, but good enough. And GE there, missing out on an opportunity to go through to that
भाई उसने
progression match.
ट्राई
Will be
किया
knocked
बे,
out of
अगर वो आता
EWC.
था.
GE at least
कोई 90.
redeeming a
Well
lot
played.
of what they have. Showing up really well this matchup. They
नहीं
just
कर
had
सकते
that
भाई
slow
और.
start versus MIBR and couldn't get the ball rolling, but this time they really put their all into it. But of course, two
दूसरे
losses
उसमें
in
फेंक
this
लेना था, प्लान
format,
करना चाहिए
and
था, हो
you're
जाता.
out. GE, they do get eliminated. Lots
चलो,
of
कोई ना.
stories around them, lots of interest, especially
NT
with the
आई.
removal of their coach, but it doesn't matter because now they have a lot more to work on. For All Gamers, though, a beautiful ending here, a beautiful start, for their story for the rest of this game, the rest of this matchup. They've struggled to prove themselves. They struggled to qualify for Masters, but now they've won a game here at EWC.
And well earned, honestly. I think they probably could have won their first game. GE giving them a run for their money, though. I think that the first series we saw from GE in this tournament was, you know, really nothing to write home about. But this was a winnable game for them. I felt like on both maps they had the potential to close it out. But as I've said all series long, continually impressed with what we're seeing from All Gamers here. And as they move into the progression match, I mean, they're not going to have an easy opponent. But if they can...
ये हो गया. अभी ये क्या लगा रहा हूँ.
Definitely won my heart over in the second half. That
इधर इधर. फिर कौन जीता?
Veiled.
Your structure that you
from Heretic side of things, it has
coming in for Wood. I know that we could
ले,
see
MIBR भी
definitely
हट
at
गई।
the end of that first map, at the end of Lotus,
Damn, भाई।
but the fact that he is able to translate it into the Jet performance that we've just seen on Ascent, amazing. A 13-2 against MIBR. Many of those
Little cleaner game, but can you talk me through this one, Athena? How do you finish the first half 6-6 on your opponent's best map?
Yeah, I think that was crazy. GE, they put up a really good fight on their defense. It feels like a lot of the plays that they were making was make or break, for them. Lots of over-aggression, but it worked out really well for them. Patman especially being one of those key players where if he dies, the round kind of goes bad. But if he wins, if he gets those fights and enables that confidence, he manages to get those 3Ks almost every single time. And it feels like for GE, they did a really good shout. A lot of adaptation, a lot of working the map to make sure they get that time.
Yeah, I mean, they're very comfortable on this map, but unfortunately, all gamers picked it for a reason, and I think they showed their quality yet again. Not an easy opponent for them on either one of these two, so well deserving of the 2-0. Scraped their way through the series, and look, I think that's going to just continue to make them better as they move deeper on in towards this group stage.
Overall, do you think the comps are going to stay the same? Do we see another split if AGAL moves forward?
I think the comps are going to stay the same. I think for AG as well, definitely keeping the split. I mean, when you're playing on this attack side, it's a defense-sided map, so getting 5 rounds, getting 6 rounds, that's actually pretty good. Obviously, the more the merrier, but still, those 5 rounds enabled them to actually get away with winning a lot more rounds on the defensive half as well. They've been really good on their defensive side so far. I've really liked all the setups that they've done. So if I'm AG, I'm keeping this map in my pool.
Pilsky, this is the end of the road for Global Esports. What will you remember from their performance here in Paris?
I think this series, reasonably serviceable, quite honestly. It sucks not to win a map, obviously, but I think both of the maps were winnable for them. They showed their normal level of performance coming out of Pacific, but yeah, it's going to be disappointing to walk away without winning a map here from EWC. Definitely going to need to kind of retune things and refocus things as they head into the next stage of Pacific. And I think that there's going to be a lot of people with some question marks around GE, and they're going to have to prove a lot of people wrong.
जी भाई बस अब नहीं देख रहा और मैं हर जो खेलेगा वैलोरेंट खेलोगे वैलोरेंट खेलोगे वैलोरेंट बताओ हमारी नो औकात अरे आओ रे तुम्हारी औकात दिखाते तुमको आ जाओ वैलोरेंट खेलते वैलोरेंट इसी स्ट्रीम में चेंज कर सकता हूँ मैं टाइटल नया स्ट्रीम स्टार्ट करूँ मैं नया स्टार्ट करूँ नया ना थोड़ा नया स्टार्ट करता हूँ चलो आ जाओ दूसरे स्ट्रीम पे भाई खेलते हैं वैलोरेंट